All right, let's go. All right.
Wait for Charter.
He's there.
What up, Louie?
Yeah, I'm here. How's it going, Darren?
I'm chilling, my brother.
All right. Chilling also.
That's it.
Who you gonna call?
Charter.
Go.
No, he's talking about Matt's hoodie.
You're gonna call for Charter. You're gonna hit you with the sun blast or whatever the hell that's
Oh God! Don't even remind me.
Nigga, wasn't prepared for that. Nigga, that was sunspot.
Fucking sunburst.
Sunburst.
That's my first time seeing that used.
Probably the last time too.
Lewis ain't ready for the epic level spells. I'm waiting for that Baylor to pop up. So I was watching Lord of the Rings. I'm waiting for him to jump out the lava pit right now. Like,
well, this creep, T-Rock was probably more powerful than the Baylor.
Nah, I know he wasn't. Not even close.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He's like level 9.
Rashada, have you ever looked at the Pathfinder Baylor? That shit is retarded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the niggas mad OD powerful.
Well, that is true though. I mean, not only do they have like top warrior capabilities, but they got like, all these like level 9 spell abilities.
Yeah, and they got like
basic Baylor.
The racial feats are all cheesy.
A basic Baylor is already pretty cheesy. But
yeah,
then the book talks about all these unique Baylors that are like on their way to like rising in power and trying to become. They call them nascent. They call them nascent demon lords.
Yeah, they're like the Oran cars, Bleach.
I think they're called nascent. Nascent Baylor.
All right, so this is what we would fight. Let me look. Like a Baylor lore.
And they have those Baylors have like class levels and higher hit die, and they have like unique abilities.
Yeah, they give you examples of it too. Yeah, like that would be like a Baylor we would fight. Hold it up, Ollie.
Basic one wouldn't be able to hit mid. Oh, they don't talk about the nascent demon lords? That's not even on this one. Oh, yeah, the wrong site for that. Baylor Lords. Oh, Baylor Lords. That's the fuck happened there? The fuck happened to everybody? Everybody disappeared.
Junction, discon, whatever.
Shit won't work on me.
Yeah, all right, Lewis. One kind of disconjunction.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine. Claudius could have like no magical item whatsoever. He's still dangerous with his spells. All that does is destroy magical items, not my spell casting abilities. Now, if that dude were to go like silence and then grapple, and then again, grapple won't really work.
I got you, son.
He just teleport out of that shit too.
I think I'll grapple him up and get off my nigga. Let's go. We're gonna wrestle. What you laugh from? Let's Walker wrestle a Baylor.
I know he.
I'll wrestle that nigga. Nigga trying to fight my nigga for child. I'll wrestle that nigga. Like, come on.
I don't know. Wait, could he wrestle? That's Baylor's CMD.
Baylor Lord.
Yeah, the Baylor Lord. I don't know.
Yeah, look at the Baylor or the CFD. Hold on.
Can't wrestle no damn Baylor. 54.
It's 64. I can wrestle him.
How tall are they?
54.
They're large outsiders.
So why can't I wrestle him, Lou?
What's your fucking comedy maneuver? It's plus 21.
You sure?
Your shit's 21. That's it.
Yeah,
you don't got grapple or anything like that. Not
the nigga can't wrestle me either, so fuck him. I'll get up at that shit too. Like,
well, no, he ain't gonna fuck with you either.
So we both even. Slip out that shit. Like, get up off me, son. I ain't Kai.
A rogue without escape artist.
Even with escape artist, you still get yoked up.
A rogue without climb.
It wouldn't matter. He can grab me. I would let him. I'm not gonna take that much damage, and he's gonna be hurting from like holy touch from touching me. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck? This shit is burning. Get up off me."
This shit.
It's burning. Chardo, I need to go, Lewis. I need
They got quicken telekinesis.
Look, Lewis, I need to see this. I need to see my nigga Chardo be like, do as I say, get out of here, guys. And that nigga, the Baylor, come out the flame like, what up, my nigga? Yo, he jumps over that fire and looks at this nigga like, yo, what up, homie? What's good? Yo, the best part is when they're on a bridge, right? And he says, you shall not pass. And then he does the intimidate check, right?
I remember that part, yeah.
He does the intimidate check where he stands straight up and does the flame like, who you talking to, my nigga? Like, I'm going with, I feel like it. What? Oh, wait. What part is this? 248. Watch the nigga stands up like, nigga, who you talking to?
Okay, I'm
Who you talking to right now?
He said he does the intimidation.
That's an intimidation. Look, when you scroll to 248, that's an intimidation. No, but wait, the intimidation. He nigga stands up like, what? Who are you talking to? I don't ran. I was like, I'm out of there. Look at that.
That is an intimidate check. Look again, though. We trying to.
I would have been out. Like, what the fuck? Nigga, I'm out of here, son. Look, nigga said, who are you talking to there, though? And nigga pull out that Vorpal sword, like, who you think you talking to? Nigga, shut up.
That's a.
Look at that.
Hey, you know what's funny? That's a Baylor Lord. That's not even like a.
It's the Vorpal sword. Nigga said, clink.
It has the Vorpal sword and the whip that a Baylor had.
That's what the Baylor was based off of the Balrog from the books.
Man, copyright infringement over here.
Well, no, they cheese. They did. That's why halflings came from. Halflings came from Lord of the Rings too.
Okay.
That's why you watch the movie and they call them halflings sometimes. The orc, the first fucking movie. Get the halfling.
Oh yeah.
He says it too.
Son.
I don't know if they called them halflings in the book though. I know they were hobbits, but I think halflings might have been a nickname for them. D&D fucking went and put halflings in their shit. Everybody knew it was based off of. Everybody knew it was really hobbits.
Yo, but how deep did they dig to find that thing? Like, they didn't even mean to find it. They just kept digging, and that nigga came out like, yo, what y'all digging this deep for? Like, how far did you dig down?
They're fucking dwarves. They went as far as they could because that was probably that's obviously where the most valuable minerals are located. And they just kept going.
And then next thing you know, nigga came out like, what up? Nigga released a Baylor or something.
Shit, that's the second time in Lord of the Rings these dwarves unearthed something they shouldn't have. The fucking Hobbit fucking went too deep and found that gem, possessed the fucking king dwarf.
Yeah. It's always the dwarves, son.
Always the dwarves fucking shit up.
They always start this shit.
The Green Lords.
Mm-hmm. Shut up, pass. That nigga said. He flexed his chest. He said,
Gandalf held his ground, though. I gotta give it to him, though.
No, he came down. He started stabbing that nigga up like +5 weapon. Ah.
All right.
Man, that's what I was about to fight Valar, son. Don't come back for me, y'all.
Oh yeah, you're right. Even when Gandalf got thrown in there, he's still fighting to the end, man.
Yeah, from what he said, he fought him from the bottom dungeon. Think how far they fell down. He fought him from the bottom dungeon to the top of the mountain. And now, think about it. He said from the lowest dungeon, because they fell to the bottom of the mountain. So they fought until they got all the way to the top of the mountain when they finally finished fighting. I mean, niggas was heal spell potion.
He had to bust out his fucking. Because he's like part of a special race. That...
Oh, apparently Gandalf is level 5.
Huh?
Well, no. According to the Dragon magazine, his magic was equivalent to a 5th level.
That's it.
So he only used 3rd level spells to get that Balor.
Yeah.
I think somebody said you could argue he might have been 7th because like one of his spells mimicked a 4th level spell in the game, but they said that was pushing it.
But we don't know what racial abilities he had. He's not human.
That motherfucker's. That's what I'm saying. He's an outsider with like.
Probably has a whole bunch of spell.
What do you mean? He did cold
He's
lightning.
he's
he
an
called
outsider
lightning to his sword and stabbed him in the chest. That's at least.
He's an outsider with like fucking 20 hit dice. Like.
No, but he did cold lightning to the sword when he fought the Baylor.
25 plus. Wisdom.
What spell does that? Calls lightning to your sword and he enchanted the sword.
He's part of like a celestial. He's part of like a celestial race that guards against They watch over Middle Earth and they keep an eye out on anything that deals with Sauron. Like that's their job.
But that nigga was the white. That nigga had when Gandalf the White came back. He's like, "Yo, what's good?"
Yeah, that was basically when he fucking went Super Saiyan. He awakened his fucking interracial traits. I'm fucking getting a template.
My niggas, who would have wanted to fight, the Baylor or Smog?
Yeah. That'd be an interesting fight.
That nigga Smog is immune to fire too. Both of them.
Alright. So the Vindicators have successfully defeated T-Rock and the Flame Water mercenary army of the lower plains. And your characters pretty much spent like the next few days gathering the whole place, everything in it as your own. I don't know where you plan on storing all this shit, but
try to make a pocket universe.
somebody better make a.
I'm saying we can.
Somebody better make a demi plane where they just store their fucking treasure, and you better hope no plane hopping fucking monsters find that shit. Steal it.
There you go. Does people hop in a Monster's plane? Like when a Monster makes planes, do they just hop in there?
I don't know if he makes planes. I'm sure he
I don't care if someone steals it because it's just treasure.
And with recent occupant, we'll know who it is.
It's another adventure. Just go get more treasure. I don't give a fuck. If I'm not dead, then there's no loss for me.
But seriously, you steal that shit.
Yeah. You don't steal treasure from a private dimension. You know that dude is powerful as hell. They're gonna come after you.
I mean, the gems and the art objects are easy for you guys to collect. The coins is about 45,000 coins.
Hold on, Lewis. Are you saying that other people have done this already before? We could just go plane hopping ourselves, private dimensions, and capitalize, steal other people's loot.
I mean, if they have unguarded,
they could do it to us.
I'm saying if there's unguarded loot sitting around and you guys find it, why not?
We have an entire city guarded. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to have our treasure.
Guarding what?
Guarding treasure.
Oh, you guys are using the treasure place somewhere in the city?
I mean, since we have since this guy has,
You got the Volta Soul.
I just want to know.
yeah, we have
The
the
Volta
both
Soul.
souls.
And we
That's
could
the
magic it
best
up.
place to put it.
Bolster his defense.
But I mean, Claudius has 7 eyes. His 7 eyes hooked up to all of the lantern celestials that are just hovering around the city. You can literally see what's going on in the
What's
city at
7
all times.
eyes? What are you talking about? Who's got 7 eyes?
That's
Prying eyes?
that fucking spell that Claudius does allows him to see through the
What,
eyes
chain
of
of
all eyes.
eyes?
Chain of eyes, yeah. He has that
She
on
said
all the
7
light
eyes.
celestials, all the lantern celestials back at the city. So he's seeing everything that happens pretty much all the time anyway.
I didn't know he does that.
What? Yeah, I do. We say we call it a renamed Cauldron the City of Lights because basically it's like what was it like 70 something light
How long does it
archons
last? Oh,
floating
because it
around the
lasts
city,
like 24 hours.
and no, he can make it permanent. He can extend it if he wanted to.
What spell?
Talking about Chain of Eyes.
Chain of Eyes.
What about 7 eyes? The new spell.
You were saying you did Chain of Eyes on those light lantern those lantern archons back at
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh.
basically you see what's going on in the city at all times. And they can teleport to you and tell you if you need to say something.
No, he casts it on one creature, and he can see through their eyes.
Is it like prying eyes you're talking about? Maybe it's
Right.
prying eyes.
Are you talking about prying eyes?
There was something he said he could be able to do. He could see through like all of it.
Oh, I think it's prying eyes. Greater
They even
prying
have,
eyes.
they even have a greater version.
Yeah,
Too.
they have a greater version. Yeah, the greater version has true seeing on it. And a perception of plus 25. It was prying eyes. You create semi-tangible, visible magical orbs. 1d4 plus your caster level. Wait, 1d4
Nah, that
plus your
wasn't it.
caster level?
That wasn't it.
There's no maximum to this shit?
Oh, I can cast it.
Dang.
How long it lasts?
An hour per level.
That
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
it.
So you got 24-hour worth of
25.
fucking, like, 30
25.
fucking eyes wherever.
That wasn't it. I guess I was mistaken.
The spell doesn't sound bad either, though.
I say he could cast that once. And then, what's the range? Oh, it's only 1 mile.
But the thing about it is like
Never
it's
mind.
he'd
This
be
shit's
able
only 1
to
mile
being able
anyway.
to see through the light through the lantern archon's eyes is dope because their perception is epic. And the fact that they could like teleport to kind of report to you if they saw him.
Well,
Lanterns? Perception's like
well,
plus 4.
actually, Watson, you wanted something. You know what Claudius could do? He could actually call a couple of creatures, and they could stay there in existence for like a month or so, and then I cast Chain of Eye on all of them, and have them over the city or everywhere we need to, like agents.
Yeah, we literally had this conversation already.
Yeah,
There'll be
because
no need for you to do
I don't
that
have.
because there's already
I got
70 something light
I got
archons that are there.
I got the calling spell. I could cast that spell over and over again, up to 18 hit dice worth of creatures, or one person with that hit dice, or
Yeah,
like
you could do that too and add to the archons that are already there. I think it's like 60
right.
something archons.
I could summon like let's say a whole bunch of level 9 peoples, which will be more
Still
hardy.
people than
They won't die that easily.
Right.
Especially from you own a plane, you own the freaking Acidipus. We could bring denizens, we need to submit that plane to our power, we need to go over
He
there.
said you own the cinema.
Yeah, we need to go dominate over there, making sure
The
that
problem with Silipus is like it's actually not in the right hands right now. If it were like in the hands of someone who was good, then they could try and like pull the plane back to its proper place in Mount Celestia, and that's like a whole other issue. But the Ladenum is like lawful neutral, and he doesn't give a shit about Silipus at all. Like it's just a means to an end to protect Holdren. That's the big reason. But if Claudius had use for it, he brought up a good idea of how it could be used to help Holdren, then the Ladenum.
Oh yeah, Claudius is bringing that to your attention. That's like endless supplies of minions that we could use for the betterment of Holdren.
that nigga smog.
That's true.
Yes.
Obviously, this is not a lawful good idea, but it's not a lawful evil idea either.
Right.
So it's a means to an end. You know, call it selfish, but yeah,
Shy.
that is true, man. At least we know one place where we get, you know, if we get to know all the big shots or whatever from Aciditas, and they know that we dominate there. Anytime we call them, you know, they have no choice.
Why am I
So
looking at your wall?
we know where to go get them.
Mhm.
You'll be like the sheriff, man. People will fear you in that plane. Like, we'll have an endless amount of, anyone tries to attack like a massive scale battle against Acidipus, Cauldron, dude, we got an endless amount of freaking minions there that we could, not that we would do that, only on worst case scenario.
I don't know. Narfell was thinking the same thing. Look what happened to them.
Who?
The Empire of Narfell.
Oh.
They will fuck around with the same thing.
Tip.
It'll work out. But I see what you're saying, though.
Sort of like a berserk type shit.
If anything, we could use it as a hell plane.
Yeah.
Be like, up, throw you in the Sisyphus. Stuck there. But that's worse than at least the pocket dimension that we provide, the prison planes. At least the prison planes we make is there's nothing in there at all. Better than being, actually, I don't know if it's better than throwing
I don't know, man. Being in the pocket plane might be worse. Solitude, you go insane.
Yeah, you go insane.
There's been a lot of study in solitary confinement. In the long term, that's actually worse.
Yeah,
than being in general.
you're right about that. It's worse.
Yeah. Even though in general population, don't get me wrong, you get freaking shanked, killed, whatever.
Right. But complete solitude.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's put it this way. People that are like level 12 and above, you throw them into a Sisyphus, they have a good chance of surviving for a long time if they're smart.
Right.
And, obviously, anyone level 5 and below, we throw them there. That's a death sentence. They're going to be prey.
All right, Metzwar wants to make sure that the rebuilding of the city is going as planned. Have they run into any snags or anything like
that? No snags. I mean, but then, dealing with minor shit here or there, like, random bandits, a couple of monsters here or there, but
we pull afford to hire.
I mean, they've taken care of it. There's nothing.
Because obviously the Vindicators are too busy and important to be doing security guard. So,
yeah. Sound muffled.
What about now? Better.
You always do that with Charlie. You be laying on your mic or something.
Like the headpiece of my headset, like it was like underneath my neck.
I'm gonna go over and ask if anybody's claiming anything from this.
What you got?
Did anybody want?
A potion of cure.
There's two haste potions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody was snagging that or what.
Nah.
2 haste potions. Gloves of the balanced hand for any 2-weapon fighter. One of these. It's a belt of physical perfection +4. So it's +4 to strength, dex, and constitution.
That sounds awesome.
Is anybody that might claim that? Alright, I'll go. I think Zion will take it.
I'll take it. If not, I have a belt. I'm using Valentin's belt. I can give Valentin this belt back.
No, I already have a belt that's
right,
superior to. That's why I gave it to
Zion will take it.
Okay, Zion will take it. So I can keep it
then? Dex?
Yeah, my belt, which I think belongs to Valentin, it has +4 to strength, +4 to constitution.
I don't even think he has a belt. That's it. He has a belt of he has a belt of physical might +2, but this one, the belt better. 4. So if I see, so strength is now 8.
You see an artifact, a shield, a sun shield.
You see a dragon
He
orb.
said a
Oh, there's an artifact shield there, the sun shield.
You see a red dragon orb.
Get out of here.
team.
Control all red dragons.
Yeah, remember that in the movie? Just break your campaign.
They had those rods that they were using in the movie.
Yeah.
They have this. They had the stats to that in the Dragon magazine. That shit was OD. It was
They
like
got dragon orbs too, but you could control
I
dragons.
think it was like the scepter can control like 500 hit dice worth of fucking dragons of that particular color or something like that.
Which is ridiculous.
But I was like, all right. So then his dex went up another 2. I'm surprised he's running around with +2 dex the entire fucking.
Who?
Zion.
Our gunslinger.
Yo, Lewis, did that guy have the shield of the sun? A large +5 shield.
He hasn't candy dodge.
If Valadin has the shield, he can cast spells as if he was a 20th level paladin with a wisdom score of 20.
What? What are you talking about?
I think Valadin needs the shield of the sun.
Shield of the Sun.
You don't know what that is?
No.
Oh my god. Let me show you. Valadin on your new shield.
Got 4 to Constitution. He's got another 36. 36.
Yo, if I take that shield, I could use that shit. I mean, like. Yo, that shield makes you take a quest once a year. You have to take, you have to take on a fucking quest. That's crazy.
Where is
The same mace. Holy axiomatic disruption. The wielder can cast. Look, Fachara, what's Searing Light? Fachara?
Yeah, that looks like a homebrew shield.
Nah, it's 3.5.
It says homebrew.
Oh, is it homebrew?
I think.
that? Bleeding?
Oh, no, there's a homebrew page. Oh, yeah.
It's a homebrew page, man.
Oh, my bad. I thought this is... No, because Axe of the Dwarven Lord is a real artifact.
Firearm.
I don't know.
No, those are real artifacts.
Hold on. So it lets you cast spells as a level 20 paladin, but
Mhm.
but what spells do you get? Do you already have? Is that like if you already have paladin spell?
No, it just
You're
doesn't
casting
matter.
it?
As long as you're lawful good and use the shield, you can cast 20th level paladin as a 20th level.
But what if you don't have a spell list? You don't have.
You don't need it. You automatically gain 20th level paladin spells.
Oh, I've heard of that artifact. What's it called again?
And the shield of the sun.
So you're saying that you essentially get the spell casting over level 20, including all the spells they get from 1
20
to 4,
wisdom.
including all the spells they get from level 1 to 4
Yes.
spell slots. Wow, that's crazy. That's it.
But you have to embark on a mission once a year. Yo, let's play with those dice from the Epic Level Handbook. Niggas start rolling.
That's cheesy as hell. Paladin spells are like one of the most broken spells in the games. You gotta earn that shit.
Yo, Lewis, what's those dice called, Lewis?
What dice?
You know
Oh.
those dice, nigga, the eaters.
This is epic level dice. I know what you're talking about.
See what I would have got. Tell me to look this shit up.
No, he had a blunderbuss this whole time. What the fuck? Alright, I think I got all his shit down. Yeah.
Oh, it's called the Rogue's Dice. That's what it's called, the Rogue's Dice. But y'all take a roll on the Rogue's Dice.
Let me see.
I would have gained
4.
I got a 4. I would have gained 1d4 negative levels, 4 to 2 20 removes.
Yeah, roll that 4 to save.
I need
Alright,
one.
Obviously nobody can wear the armor or wield those weapons. The ring of minor spell storing. There is. Alright, nobody don't want the shields.
Maybe I want a shield.
There's
maybe Cynthia wants to.
What's the shield she got now? What she does?
Shield.
She got buckler.
Is there any like?
Okay.
Is there any
Shield.
Is there any?
She got +1 caster's buckler.
I rolled a 10, son.
Yeah, it's a buckler that lets her scribe up. She can scribe up to a 3rd level spell on the buckler cast.
Freedom of movement for 1 hour.
The shield probably has a magic bonus. What does the shield have?
It's a. I think it's.
How many times per day can you roll those dice?
It's a +3 variable heavy steel shield. Variable.
That's variable. Not all the size goes.
It's the size. I think it's tight.
There's no Mithras bucklers, you said, right?
No.
Bucklers made out of Mithras. All right. That's the only thing I could use.
There's an epic version of those too.
Of what?
Those dice, where like you lose a level and shit if you fail. Like you roll,
These shields can change into a buckler, light shield, heavy shield, or tower shield.
So I just changed size.
That changes type. It changes into a shield type, but it's still a shield made for a medium-sized creature.
So it could change to a buckler type. I'll do it with. So it'll be a buckler size.
No, it needs to be a small buckler for you to do.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She can't use it. It's too big. Alright. Well, yeah, so the Vault of Souls is where you keep your shit now.
Okay. I'm gonna magic that place up then. Probably put 2 guardians there.
He said 2 guardians. What kind of guardians? Houses? What are you summoning?
I don't know. I have to consult with. Yeah, I'm gonna bind them. I'll probably I'll have to consult with Cynthia. Maybe because otherwise I'm just gonna enslave someone from the lower planes. But if she has any, but if Cynthia has any, if Cynthia has any contacts in the upper planes, that for a fee they're willing to come here and guard this for us, that are trustworthy, we can negotiate. You know, there's always a lot of upper plane people that want to interfere, but they can't because of their, you know. But if a mortal brings them here, it's like a loophole. If not, I'll just yeah. I'll just drink from my
Unfortunately,
phone.
Cynthia has no such contact.
Okay. Well, I was too low level to Well, the spell's not strong enough to get the ice Demodon, right? The ice
The Galugon? No.
the Lugon,
It's
right?
only a
Okay.
creature up to 18 hit dice.
Nigga said the Galugon, son.
Maybe you summon a basic Galugon.
Yeah, I could probably summon a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, they got 14. The regular.
I'm probably just better off just purchasing that scroll and learn that spell. That level 6 spell also, I think warts and what's it called? Warts and it's a core spell. I don't remember the name of it. Oh yeah, guards and wards. Oh, it doesn't last that long. It only lasts 2 hours per caster level. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still like 2 days.
What does? What's today's?
Guards and wards.
Mm.
It's an abjuration level 6 spell, core spell. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It does fog, arcane locks, webs, confusion, lost doors. You know, like trap doors, so people go through an illusion thinking it's almost like a maze.
Right.
Magic mouth, stinking cloud. It has a whole bunch of traps. Gust of wind and a suggestion. I didn't expect we were gonna get like wealthy like this, so I never really.
What you mean? Let's go
Gather.
buy our own pocket universe where we can only enter. Need an ID badge. Where you going, Lewis? We're not going.
Fuck up.
What the fuck was that?
Can't be a
It
bitch.
made some rat sound. Damn, I think Lewis gonna be that uncle again, son.
What do you mean, uncle?
Oh my god! I don't understand.
Pregnant.
You already know, Louis. I said it. Lewis is tight.
I hope
He's
it's not.
on the video.
She kind of did something like that before, but it was like a joke. So when I saw it again today, I'm like, why? I'm like, she did this before. She fucking did something like this, and she fooled everybody. Like she was just fucking with them. So I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, wait, this is for real? She's fucking pregnant again with who?
How many kids you got?
I don't
2?
fucking know. 3, maybe? This is her 3rd? 4th? I don't know.
Yeah, but all different niggas, I think.
The Oyola fucking women are like cursed to just that's all they do. They just shit babies. That's all they do. That's all they're good for. Like honestly, like every single one.
Yo, my nigga,
They
chill
just
out right
Come
now.
on, Louis, what's going on, man? You pro women? What's going
Yo,
on?
you can't.
not these women.
Yo,
They're
what
goddamn
the
embarrassing,
fuck?
man.
Yo, she was like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, word? That's
It
what's
it
up.
it it fucking boggles my goddamn mind.
I was like, yo, how you afford
Doesn't
all
boggle
these
my
kids?
mind. It seems very reminiscent of a lot of women like who are out there without fathers. You don't have a strong father figure, you're gonna try and find it in your mate. Except they're choosing the wrong mates. You're only choosing mates that are in your environment. Because they don't have a strong idea of
It's
what a
not
mate is supposed to look like.
it's not even about the mate. It's like I don't care what mates they have. Just why the fuck do you gotta get pregnant again? We have so much birth control out there. It is like stupid at this point.
Yo,
Maybe
they get
because it's
pregnant
not,
left
I
and
don't
right.
know. It's just, they're looking for, obviously, it only happened because they were trying to be with a
Bro,
guy.
all of them have all these issues because they got kids. They got to take care of them, and they're fucking broke half the goddamn time. So you're gonna add another mouth to feed on top of that. I guess because they're hoping to land that one man that happens to fucking have all the money in the world, though,
No,
right?
he doesn't necessarily have to have all the money. He just has to stay.
You know why?
None of
You
the
know
men
why
they're
it's
choosing.
He said he just has to stay.
Just has to stay.
I
None
guess
of the men that they're
because
choosing are actual
no,
partners.
they're not.
So that's why they can't make it. You can't do all that shit.
But my thing is this, like, no real nigga gonna stay with a girl who got mad kids. You crazy, bitch.
Exactly. It's hard enough once you already have kids to try and like find a good one.
I think this is
Much less like you got 3 different kids.
I can't even get them straight. I think this is her third because she had one with the guy that she lost custody. She lost custody over him, Mike. She ended up with another dude. She got pregnant with him.
I don't know, man.
I think this is her third. It's either her third or her fourth. I don't even know. Like I said,
what was the first dude's name? Wait, what was Desiree's name? What was his name? The one that got shot?
Melissa's the one that went out with him. His name was
Oh wait, Melissa's the one that was the dude that got shot.
His name was
No, that was the one that got murdered.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the first.
I think his name was Louis.
Oh man.
Yeah, that nigga got blown up with a bomb, so that's crazy.
But they've had their father. He's not a strong father.
No, you need an actual father. Would they be the same?
Do brother figures count? Is this my fault also?
I'm like,
is this my fault?
Not unless the brother is the father
figure, the role,
you are the oldest.
father role.
Look, you are the oldest. It kind of is your fault. You are the oldest. You're supposed to die.
Is it my fault I didn't take over my father's role because he failed his part?
Yeah,
no, because he was still in the role trying to fulfill it while you were there. It wasn't like he left the house and there was no one in the role.
Well, now he's not
he
in the
was
country.
Just bad at his job, but he still picked the job.
I don't blame your dad. I blame Louis. Louis should have been there to do some shit.
Get the fuck out of here. What am I gonna do? Be a doctor and cut their goddamn tubes myself is what I would have done.
Louis is not an eraser for his father's mistakes.
I would have gave him some infertility drugs.
The thing is though, that now they're grown women though. It's one thing if they're still like in their teens, then you should do
they are adults.
Yeah, but they're grown women in the same spot they were when they were fucking 20.
They're physically grown, but mentally they're still girls.
Mentally they're still fucking 18 again, 16.
Nah, I mean, the shit tripped me out though, because I said, yo, how's she pregnant again? I like, these bitches got like 12 kids between all of them, like, maybe 13, like, god damn.
I can't keep up.
Every time I see the family, Louis, every time I see the family photo, my nigga, it's like adding 6 people.
I can't. I can't.
No, I'm not even kidding.
I got so many nieces and nephews that I have absolutely zero relationships with. This is just too many. I just can't.
Yo, for sure, though. For sure. Every time they post a new photo, there's like 8 more niggas added into it. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
It makes me wonder what's going on the other side. Like, am I the ghost? I must be the ghost uncle or something. The uncle that never was. They're all probably like, we have an uncle? Like, yeah, but you ain't ever gonna see his ass. He's the ghost uncle. He's the ghost.
But yo, all I see is just mad kids. Just mad of them. I'm like, how do y'all all live together? That must be a sick ass tax return.
That's what I'm talking about. They all have the experience of having issues with raising children in their predicament as it is. Now they just want to have more. They already bitch about the shit they can't afford and the babysitting that they can't fucking get, and so so's got to watch these kids, and so so's got to watch these
Even
kids.
the tax return is not enough to take care of like a new person.
Nah, they got a lot of new people, nigga. It ain't just one. It's like it's like
Okay, so Rachel got 3.
I don't
Desiree,
want to talk shit.
Rachel has 3. Desiree has 3. I think the only one that might have their tubes tied, I think, is Desiree. I think.
Desiree is usually smarter than the rest. Like she's
I
dumb,
think.
but she's smart.
I
at the
remember
same time.
specifically one of them was like, I got my tubes. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Desiree. 'Cause Rachel talked about it, but I don't think she got it done because she got a 3rd kid.
Pretty smart to do that. That's
So I think they all got
Desiree
3
is not
kids.
dumb.
After you got 3 kids, that's it. No more.
Desiree has 3 kids.
Yeah, she does. They're grown.
Yeah, Gianni's her first.
Yeah, She got
She has 4. No, she has 3. She has a daughter
She got 3.
that's in Florida right now.
Oh, okay.
She lost custody. She lost custody of her daughter to the father. Not the father. She gave custody of her daughter to the grandmother of the father. I mean, to the mother of the father. So the kid's grandmother. And she lives in Florida.
I guess maybe it was like a better life thing.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
That's what it was. And now they're pulling the whole, just like with Melissa and her first kid's father. The same thing with Desiree. They're pulling the whole, oh, we'll send you pictures, but we're not letting you have a relationship with you.
Oh, what the fuck?
Right. The same thing with Melissa. Like Melissa just recently, a couple of years ago, she's finally like been seeing her firstborn son like more often and like getting to actually know him because the father of the kid's always basically hiding him from her and obviously talking mad shit because like he had.
Was that the one that got shot? No, that wasn't the one that got shot.
No, she hasn't had any kids with the one that got shot.
Nah, it was. I think Desiree did. The nigga's name was like Jimmy or something.
Desiree.
Some shit like that. Anyway, let's continue. My man, I didn't mean to get on this conversation.
I don't know how it got here anyway.
Look at Watson's face.
I mean, I know how it got here, but it was anyway.
I'm
trying to figure out what's being bound to protect the treasure, if anything.
We should give it away to Cauldron.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, you gotta role play this shit. Metro just go on.
We should donate most of this treasure to Cauldron. I think we're rich enough.
Who in particular in Cauldron?
In purchasing
is there a person you have in mind?
Well, I mean, we should put the money back into Cauldron. I don't know, Claudius. This is your kind of field of expertise. What do you?
Exactly. I think we should handle that.
But I mean, you should.
We have the means and the intellect to do what's best for Cauldron. You just give money left and right. They'll squander it within a year or so or less, and then they'll be worse off.
Well, we still can't be greedy. We should help the people.
It's not being greedy. Do you trust the people to invest on their own and make logical, sound choices? And the nobility of that city, obviously, they kept the wealth to themselves. Do you really want to hand this over to the ruling elites of that city? Do you really think much will change?
Well, definitely not the ruling elites, unless I talk to them first. I'm a pretty good character.
Don't worry, Messoir. Give it to me. I'll take care of it.
I think everyone should get a vote. What do you think?
Out of everyone here, I have the most business sense and I have a lot of experience running a business. Only second by Valeno himself, that's actually running an entire organization. So I believe that him and myself are in the best position.
Well, I think you're forgetting about my school I run. Meteor tries to be sly with that.
Well, you do have a point.
The school that you run is not profit fine. That's cool.
Thank you for pointing that out, Valeno. Well, all right. I guess we'll go with Claudius's plan. He hasn't steered us wrong yet financially.
You're the guy that owns the building and leased the goddamn school. That's he doesn't even show up. He's
First of all,
Have you told him that's the best movie?
I do show up, Lewis. Hey, I don't know where this hand of God is coming out.
No, I know. I'm fucking around.
My personal
I'm
business.
fucking around.
People are stealing money from that organization.
Yeah,
Well, I know Metzor recently put in like $30K, which could buy a few buildings, or at least patch several buildings up. So he's putting a big share into some renovations for the city himself.
There has to be an incentive. I mean, we work hard for this, for this loot. We just can't have it. We just can't just give it out just like that. What we could do is we could invest majorly within the city itself, and with time, the city could pay us back in returns.
I don't think we need to be paid back. We're adventurers. We always find new stuff, unless we get killed one day. But
so
hopefully that doesn't happen.
So you intend to adventure for the rest of your days. This is a very, as of now, we've been fortunate that we're still alive, the core group. However, we had 2 major losses already.
Fair enough. I do agree.
You forgot.
But
exactly.
Do I plan to adventure? Of course.
This is a career that has high yield in treasure and profitability, but also in fatality as well. You cannot be thinking of doing this for the long term.
Pretty much. And then you're right. Pretty much.
As long as there's suffering in the world, I plan on being there to stop it.
Oh, that's youth. But me, I don't see myself doing this for more than a...
Metsuar does not fear death because Metsuar has already died twice.
Twice?
Yeah, he died and came back as a saint.
That's true.
First off, the first death wasn't really my death. So it's not, you always out of character. Hold on, wait a minute.
No, I'm not going out of character. No, I'm not going out of character. I said that as
Okay, out of character. OCC. The first death was magically.
Oh my god, I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta go pee.
Go pee, dog. Go pee. And when you get back, I'm gonna explain why you killed my character. And then the second death, okay, that's agreeable.
Wait till he comes back. Wait.
He killed my character. So I woke up, my nigga was dead on the floor. I was like, what has happened?
I remember. You got shield smack.
I woke up, son. I woke up at 8:30 in the morning. I was like, look at the screen. My character's got an X over him and a skull. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, you laughing. You got NPCs. That's what happened.
Yeah, I was like, this fucking guy. He was like, oh, moved him next to me, but the guy knocked me away. What the fuck? That word. Fair enough. It was funny as shit, man.
Decent matchup. At least it wasn't like a blue character. Alright. Decent beginning. Did it. Take that. I got it. I got the 5K. Road to 5K is complete. I think Phoenix Wright does way worse than Ryu against Beautiful Joe, because I don't get my super ever.
They go to the bathroom together? What the fuck is going on over there?
No comment.
Yo, like, wait a minute here. I just realized that, like, both these things got at the same time. Like, what y'all going to shake each other's orangutans? Dude, what the fuck is going on right now?
No comment. Plus, I don't judge my own brothers.
No, I don't either. It's just funny that they both went up. They both got up at the same time. So we gotta go to the bathroom. The fuck?
Hey, I'm surprised we don't got a gay guy in our crew. Because nowadays everybody has one.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Do you? Maybe from your other circles of friends?
I mean, there's a gay dude at my job. I don't know if that counts.
I don't really know anyone. Yeah. I know other people, but
I don't know. I thought Mike was gay for a long time, but he got like that.
Who, Dogma?
Nah, I'm playing Dogma. I knew Dogma was obsessed with Asians. He would never be gay. That nigga was like, an Asian girl.
He was just not able to get someone, but eventually, look at that. It was worth the wait.
Nigga traveled to like Kathmandu or wherever he went.
Y'all remember that we were concerned. Be careful, man. That you don't.
I know.
You don't become Chop Suey out there.
Well, apparently,
you could feed a family for a month.
like for years.
They could feed off of you for a long time.
Niggas that eat dog. They eat dog for years.
Like in that movie Hospital, when they go to these American tourists. Dogma is a prime, candidate for that.
That shit would be hilarious.
You said $10 if I helped you get the 5K. Good deal. Everybody's collecting on their royalties right now.
Truth and nothing but the truth.
Alright, I'm good. I gotta go pick up my food. Alright, so y'all are trying to figure out how to guard the how you want the treasure to be guarded, or
well, I could summon a few minions or whatever, but I think that it might how much do you trust your followers, Valeno? Maybe we could spare one of them to be like, in charge.
That's not possible.
I mean, because I think you have people that would die for you, so that's good. Because my minions, they might be reliable in defending the place, but they're not really trustworthy. No, it's true.
Right. I can have educators on guard duty.
Mm-hmm.
what? Who ain't trustworthy?
I literally
What
have no
needs
power gems. This is so dumb of me.
There's so many things to
I have
summon.
no power gems.
What?
Yeah, I lost.
I said there's so many different types of outsiders to summon.
That's true. I could summon people from what's that plane of all? Modron? Mechanus?
$10 to buy you.
Could be an elemental too. I mean,
Also, Lewis, in the soul of what do we call that place again? Pillar of Souls.
yeah.
Yeah, we could make that. Since Claudius has ways to maneuver rocks and distort, he could make also like a private like chamber as well, and then cover it up with a whole bunch of stone. So basically, you'll have like minions and whatever they're guarding the place, but they don't necessarily know what the hell they're guarding, because Claudius is not gonna let them know what it is they're guarding. Just guard this area. If anything, they're guarding the pillar themselves. Since they're like they could be used to gather information.
Right.
But besides this crew here, we make an agreement, right? Claudius goes like, we should just keep this asset just to us. Need to know. Only us need to know. No one else.
This sounds like deception.
It's not deception.
I'm kidding.
You sound very paranoid. Maybe you need to get a mental check. Start messed up. I thought I was the paranoid.
Damn.
I thought I was the
What
one
are you
that's always
just telling you, man?
What?
No, I said Claudius is telling you, Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is my senior, so I should listen to him.
Yeah, so we're gonna get all this.
Are we still talking in this cave, or are we back in Cauldron?
No. We're going to the Pillar of Soul. We're gonna take all this to the Pillar of Soul, and we're gonna make arrangements. We're gonna probably build like an enclave where to keep all this loot at, and in there in the loot. Ah, damn! Too bad we don't have those golems that were in What's that guy, that beholder? Did those golems get destroyed?
Oh, Orbis. I think you
Orbis,
guys.
yeah.
You didn't destroy
There
them.
was like 2 golems there. We
The
could use
golems?
this shit right now.
You didn't destroy them?
No, there's a spell that you could just simply, you could actually what you call it, take over them.
They were inactivated. We never destroyed it. We had
Never
intentions
even
of
went into
something
loop
else.
to activate them.
Yeah, we had intentions in the future, probably putting them to work for us.
Wow.
And I think this is the perfect opportunity.
Because I put the treasure down for that on your guys' shit.
You did?
And I assume you went there and just took care of it.
What do you mean, like destroyed it?
I don't know. However, you took care of it.
No, because remember you said there was like an earthquake or whatever, so we don't know what happened. Certain things maybe were, cut off. I don't know. It was kind of blurry. I don't remember 100% all the specifics, but.
After you dealt with House Riavati, the characters went and recuperated, and you went back there.
It was gone?
No, you went back there to see how the authorities were handling it, see what they found, and then also make sure they didn't get killed by anything extra in there. You guys dealt with the extra shit on your own time, like not too long after.
I would have been against destroying those golems if they weren't activated.
I mean, if you had another way,
I would have sealed them off with a wall of stone or something. That's like valuable. Claudius doesn't destroy magic like that senselessly. If it's something that he thinks he could contain.
Yeah, there's a clerk spell where you could take over control of the golem. And there's another one where you could awaken them. I just got them recently.
And even at the moment, if Claudius lacked the power to be able to do anything about it, he did have Wall of Stone. He would have just sealed them off.
At the time, I had that one where you could take control of the golem. I had that at that time. I didn't have it memorized, though.
I didn't really think much of it.
Brought up the idea of a golem. I looked up the spell to see if I would be able to cast it. I had it. That's why I was like, we could come back to this later.
What spell was that for? I'm gonna say you probably controlled it, and then you guys stored them.
And what are Louis, you would know, you're the DM. What are good from what Claudius would know is high knowledge arcane and nature to some extent. What are good guarding creatures? Besides a dog.
Archon.
I think I prefer to probably summon something with animal intelligence. Maybe. At least a couple of those. But very strong. Maybe like intelligence of 4. Enough to be able to understand what they're supposed to do. And then they could easily be rewarded with food. I don't want to pay them. Usually forget you got to pay them so they can remain loyal.
Well, if we're talking plain or binding.
Plain or binding, yeah. Tarask is probably too high level, right? Yeah. Nice can summon a Tarask.
You lure the creature, trap it, and then it's stuck and trapped by your magic until it agrees to perform a service in return for its freedom.
Okay.
You can't just cast Gears on someone who's making guard it.
Who are you gonna cast it on that's gonna be decent enough to guard it?
Actually, it should be the people that we're imprisoning. Put them to good use.
Damn, son, working on the chain game.
Well, Raekwon's being imprisoned, and so is what's his name, the Blue Duke.
Oh, we could use them. You're saying, right?
Yeah, and actually, I have a more powerful version of Gears now, where it'll make them fulfill it even if they choose death. So if they die, they come back as undead and they're forced to fucking.
What spell is this?
They're forced to commit to complete the Gears. I'm serious, Lewis.
Is it an evil spell?
No, it's still good.
No, it ain't. What's it called?
Let me look it up for you.
Shit sound like
It's not an evil spell. It's not. I guarantee it. Hold up.
Actually, it's not evil.
Shit, what's the name of this spell? It's so dope. Like you can't. Basically, it's just to keep you from getting from loophole in the Gears.
You're like, I ain't doing this. I'm gonna kill my.
It's like, nah, nigga. Even in death, you owe me, nigga. You owe me. Hold up. I read that spell. I was like, damn. It did sound like mad fucked up, but I looked. It was not an evil spell. I was like, Clark's a fucking savage, bro. Niggas is like, not even in death will you escape. You get no rest till I get.
That shit sounds like demonic, son. Get out of here. Let their souls rest.
He said, let their souls rest.
Imagine you're like, no, I'll never do it. You jump off a fucking building, die. You're about to go to your afterlife, and then suck on their body. Like, all that shit.
Man, there's just so many goddamn outsiders. I can't think of one specifically.
Jugalov? No, right? No.
There is one. It's a type of beholder, but it's extra.
Okay.
They're called spectators, not spectators.
Specters.
No, that's specters.
I know what you're talking about. They don't have like a whole bunch of eyes.
They have like four. They have 4 eye stalks. They're lawful neutral.
You're right. They're specters. Spectors.
Spectators.
Spectators.
Forgotten
4 eye stalks on top, and then like one eyeball in the mouth.
Let me see. Alright, because I had Seraph had summoned one.
Oh,
He summoned one, and everybody was like, mad curious. There's like a lot of roleplay with it after he summoned it, because I don't even know why he summoned it. He summoned it to guard something. I think it was a shrine back in Shadowdale. He summoned it for some reason, and everybody was there. Everybody was just like...
I think you should summon Inevitable. It's called a death.
Oh, one of those Inevitable things?
Yeah. Some of them...
You have to summon something that's gonna not put up much of a fight to want to...
They gotta have a low charisma.
Like, if you summon the Marat, hey, guard my treasure, he's gonna try his best to resist that. He's just like, that's not my job. But if you summon like...
But there's gotta be some lawful extra
They're
power,
good at guarding.
but its purpose is to guard. I have
Right.
a feeling there's got to be someone.
Like a guardian knight or something, maybe some X
Yeah,
planner
there's
guardian
so
knight.
many guardians out
Oh, there's a lawful neutral angelic type creature that's from Arcadia.
What's the name?
Shoot, what was the name? They're Monster Manual 4, I think.
I don't think we could still convince. What's that angel we've been using to babysit for us?
Oh, New Drama said that she's joining us on our fight.
Damn, we can't keep her to babysit our treasure instead. I prefer that.
She's coming along for the ride on this
She's
final fight with the cage race.
Damn, man. I was kind of hoping she'd keep, she's
she's
still
your
reliable.
she's your Kai replacement.
She's gonna be some added DPS though, some necessary.
You know what's so funny? Usually, usually adventuring parties want like these epic high level people to join them to help us fight. We're like the opposite. We want them. No. Keep develop stuff. We handle it.
No,
we,
do
we,
other
we got
shit.
this.
We got this.
Yeah, we got this. Even since we were like low levels, we don't need your assistance. We good.
What book was it in? Was it Magic of Faerun? I think that's the one.
It's almost like in Final Fantasy Tactics, when Sid, TGI Sid comes to your party. No, we don't need you. We'll bench you. We don't really need you.
Yeah, it was called a Spectator, Beholder King. Spectators are smaller relatives of the Beholder, often summoned to guard treasures.
Yeah, they're weaker beholders. Why not just summon a regular beholder?
You could summon a large one. You can summon a 16 hit die one.
Oh yeah, and they're very good, right? They're like
Powers are
resistant to
less
magic.
combat oriented than those of Beholders, but better suited to their tasks, and they are capable of limited planar travel.
Okay, well they're lawful neutral. At least they're not evil fucks.
Like its kin, the Beholder or Spectator is a floating spherical creature with a large central eye, several smaller eye stalks, and a large toothy mouth. It has only 4 small eye stalks, however, and its central eye reflects magic rather than suppressing it. Its body is not so heavily armored as its kin, but it compensates for this with great agility and responsiveness to threats. It's not necessarily evil and may even be friendly to those who approach it in peace. Guarding its treasure always takes priority, though, and a Spectator does all in its power to fulfill this mission. If somehow it is unable to prevent a treasure's theft, it departs for good, usually to another plane. They understand Beholder tongue and Common, but prefer to communicate telepathically. They're passive by nature and do not generally attack unless they or their possessions are threatened. Even then, their most likely first move is to persuade an opponent to leave. They do not abandon their post unless killed or blinded. Their eye ray effects do inflict serious wounds, hold monster, and suggestion.
That's pretty weak.
Hold monster? That's not weak.
So
Their suggestion.
you said cure. You said what's the moderate crap?
Inflict serious wounds.
Yeah. We're talking about millions of GP worth of loot here.
So summon more than one.
What's the hit dice? Well, always for whole monsters, it's always a hit die limit. What's the limit on the hit dice that they call whole monsters?
Whole monster? There's no hit die limit. It's a will save.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is it high?
If you summon a 16 hit die Spectator, it'll be DC 20.
Yeah, because we're facing things that are like 20 plus high, All right, so we could summon a few of those then. You're right. Summon a couple of those.
All around vision, and their central eye has a spell turning effect on it.
And what's their spot? Is it like very good? Like they got dark vision and
They can reflect one spell of any level per round.
oh wow, that's pretty good.
They can create food and water. Oh, that's what their 4th eye does. It just creates food and water. Wow.
Wow,
It has flight and it has plane shift.
Oh damn, plane shift. They're not pretty good to escape.
Yeah. Spectator is blind and can no longer guard its treasure and flees to another plane to recover. This ability resembles plane shift spell but affects only the Spectator. The creature returns once the blindness has been removed.
What do you guys think? Cynthia?
Summon more than one of those, and because really we only needed to guard the treasure until we are done with the cage rank.
Right. We don't really need an army. Just I guess 2 of them will be good, right? How many, or more? What? Like 4?
We'll have
Put
2
them in
of
the.
them, and then we'll have my whole contingent of the educators there, and then on top of that, we'll have 2 light archons
Who
that
are
can
the
plane shift
educators?
at will. So if anything happens, they can plane
Who
shift
are
to
your
us and let us
educators?
know something's going on.
Are those warriors or mages? Your educators.
They're adventurers, so they're basically like a Teen Titan version of us.
Oh, I got it. I remember you mentioned
So
that. I wasn't sure.
in case we pass, like they'll take.
Also, they're an adventuring party of themselves, like balanced. They got their
Yes.
like little cleric, mage,
Right.
warrior. Okay, that sounds
They're
good.
a balanced adventure party that pretty much follows Valatum's orders.
All right, good. And I could do a chain of eye on one of your followers. So if anything, we have to check in, make sure they didn't get killed or something.
Right.
All right.
And you can
All right.
since you already have chain of eyes with you can do that with the light archons because they could teleport. They could dimensional. I think they plane shift at will if they want to. So that will allow them to be able to come directly to us. They can teleport at will too.
You got light archons?
Yeah, I got like 70. I got like 60 of them flying around the city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I could do a chain of light on a couple of them.
60 of what? What are you talking about?
Light archons.
Who?
Cynthia.
Elaine?
When?
Like 2 sessions ago.
60?
It's a lot.
You didn't tell me this. How?
Yeah, she did that spell fucking.
No, hold on. This guy coming out of nowhere with some random ass shit.
It's not
What spell? I was not aware of any of this.
She cast a spell where she called light archons and they serve her up to a year.
What's the spell called?
Damn, up to a year.
This guy don't give me any of this.
I can't even remember. All right. I mean, where's?
Wow, you don't even remember. You're supposed to be keeping notes on your sheet.
I have. Where's the fucking
Like no, Cynthia's spells that are active. This one. Like
I do. Wait a second.
This guy, I ain't never heard of this shit.
Yes, you did. We talked about this like 3 sessions
I didn't know
ago.
you had the spell and was able to cast it.
Yeah, I have the spell.
I heard
told you that I
about
did.
it.
No, it wasn't a talk. That's for real.
No,
I've been had that spell
about it.
too.
You're like, I can't wait to do this. I'm like, really? Oh,
no,
okay.
I actually had that spell like 5 levels ago. Like
I never seen you freaking.
Let me find this shit.
I'd have had it on my notes. There's nowhere on there. That's how I'm looking at
That's
you.
That's because
like,
we talked about it. She did it like
I'm sitting here like 60. What?
She did it before we came here. Before we went on this adventure, during our downtime is when she cast it. So. Basically,
all right, I need to see the spell.
Okay.
I didn't even know this shit existed.
Great good news. Dragon Ball Super continues. Yes. Yes.
When?
Yes. I knew it. I told you.
You know they're not gonna stop Dragon Ball.
I knew it wasn't either, but I just wanted to know what's confirmed. Here you go, my Caps. Yes.
Wait, is that a legitimate source that you're reading?
Yes, it's a legitimate source. Fuck you.
What's it called? What's the source?
Comicbook.com.
Is that a legitimate?
It's called Call Faithful Servants. It's the 5th level spell. No, the 6th level spell.
New statement from Akira.
You summon 1d4 Lantern Archons. You can summon Kura Ladrons or multiple Guardians. You can summon 1d4 Lantern Archons from Celestia. Blah, blah, blah. They serve you for up to 1 year as guardians, soldiers, spies, or whatever other holy purpose you have. No matter how many times you cast a spell, you control no more than 2 hit dice worth of Celestials per caster level. So if I control 2 hit die per caster level of Light Archons,
yes. All right, I'm good.
If you exceed this number, all the newly called creatures fall under your control of Lightnings, that's servants. From the
Louis, I'm powerful enough
to the home plane. Blah, blah, blah.
I could call a Planetar.
You can call 1d4.
Yo, that's a I can summon something too.
No, it's
like 2 hit dice.
Serve you up to 1 year. No
So
matter how many times you can control up, no more than 2 hit dice.
Louis, I could call
You're
a
level
Planetar.
Yes.
So you get 32 hit dice.
32, there we go.
How much is
Not
it?
60 something. 32.
Oh, 32.
That's still a
So
lot.
she just kept cashing this until
Yeah,
all
so she gotta
32
have
showed
max.
up.
Because they service those 32 light archons serve her for a whole year. So she has the light archons, and the light archons they have their own special. I think they're able. You read it. That's what you went to light archons.
Celestial? She can cast celestial spells, right?
Yeah, she can cast celestial spells.
Because of her prestige.
Right.
That's about to cast Bless. What about Bless as a cleric?
Yeah, you know, if I would have cast just one Planetar, I think that's all we need.
Yeah, what if
That's
Metal?
a plus 3 Holy Grace Sword. It could cast cleric spells up to 8th level, including Heal, Greater Dispel Magic, Regenerate, Earthquake. So I think maybe I should just get a Planetar and then the contingents of the
All right.
Adjudicators.
Well, so I guess during the downtime, all right, Cynthia's
But
got
then again,
32
but
fucking
you know
lantern
what? But then
archers.
again, I don't think I'm gonna get a Planetar because
Yeah,
I don't think the rest of the party would feel comfortable.
That's what I was about to take 10 levels of sorcerer.
Yeah, we'll go through with the Beholder. I don't think nobody in this party would care that I'm subjugating an aberration.
Indeed.
I think people here will have. I think people here will have issues if I freaking buy in a Planetar, which I can. It's only cast. You know, see.
What's
It's
its
only
hit dice?
16.
A Planetar's hit dice is 16.
Right. I could get a Planetar with 2 even levels. A level 2 fight, a level 2 paladin Planetar could get. Shit.
Hell yeah! Stop.
That's cheesy as hell, though. They got spells up to like level 8, yo. They got Earthquake,
Oh, it's 14.
Firestorm.
They got 14 hit dice.
Who, the
I mean,
Planetar?
you could summon a 18 hit die if you wanted to.
Yeah, so 4 levels, fighter.
What?
Get freaking stamina.
Oh, God, look at this shit. They're fucking
You're looking at
powerful as fuck. I thought the hit die was bigger than that. 14?
I thought it was bigger than that, too. Yeah, it's freaking Planetar.
I thought it was like 20 or something. What's the
Plus
solo?
3.
Okay, solo is like 22. Yeah, you need like a gate spell for that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the solar. I didn't even bother looking at the solar. 'Cause I remember it was always like above 20.
Damn, I cast spells as a 17th level cleric. Dude.
Yeah, man. No, they got
Wait a minute. If they could cast spells as 17 level cleric, can't they cast that spell where they could summon, where they could call the one that I said just now?
I'm tempted to bring this plan.
First of all, he has to bind. He has to bind an angel who's probably gonna be pissed off that it's trapped.
Actually, no, man. We gotta go fight Demogons. You know, like listen.
Claudius is gonna be spending a lot of time trying to convince a fucking Planetar to guard treasure. That Planetar's gonna try breaking free.
I don't really have to convince them. I could break them to my will. There's ways to like lower their charisma. You make it seem like you have to like negotiate, be friendly. No. Remember the Malcolm Voker? They use a different approach to try to freaking.
But you're not a Malcolm
creatures.
I'm gonna.
Malcolm Voker.
If Cynthia cast Valiant Steed,
No, I'm not a Malcolm Voker, but I can do the same things they do. I could raise up my charisma score.
If he casts what?
Valiant Steed.
What hit that?
It says call a special servant for result to guard.
What's the sacrifice? 1d3 points of strength drain.
Serves a caster to a year.
Drain.
During which time caster may dismiss at any time. It is intelligent. Also useful now. Not gonna take quests. Nope. There's a count against it.
The trumpet arching.
Yo, Pachada, how you gonna feel?
I'm looking for that spell I was talking about
if he
before.
disarms King Jamu?
Oh, yeah, you can summon that.
Wow, I'd be impressed if he manages to do that.
Probably end up dead. Not gonna.
Out of all people, you know the worst. I'll give him props, but I feel like I don't know, man. It might not go as good as we think it might make things worse. So we'll see.
I know Metzor's about to go over to Silverfest and hang out there. He about to meditate. Yo, look, Sim Metzor wants to go to the Beholder lair where all the eyeballs are.
Oh my God! Realm of a Million Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, it's all right. So I just gotta let me see.
He's doing a binding.
I need to use the spell protection against good, magic circle protection against good. Okay,
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm about to freaking subdue this to my will. This Planetar.
He's serious about the Planetar.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I won't. If I was not in a party with good
I mean,
characters,
I think you could. You
I
have to
could. Hell yeah. I could. What's their charisma? Is it like very high? Their will?
How you gonna subdue a planet? So I would have to stop you. I'll be like, what,
Yeah,
Claudius,
they do got high charisma.
Like, Claudius, what kind of dark shit are you into? You ain't subduing no planet. So go ahead, go back to your plane.
Yeah. Oh, they could alter. They could alter shape too. That means they could
it would
take
try and break free, which means it would have to pit its spell resistance against your castle level check for the spell.
And I would help it. I would stun Claudius and let it run away.
Nah. If I were to do that,
By dimensional travel, which he could lock out with a dimensional anchor anyway, or try to break free with a successful charisma check.
Well,
What's your
when you
castle
do the
level?
magic circle, against good or evil or good in this case, you can also do dimensional anchor and a whole bunch of other spells to prevent this sort of stuff. Yeah. And as long as they don't break that barrier, they can't break through that barrier and try and attack you until they either agree or not.
Castle level 24.
No, but you're right though. Claudius is not evil though. Like he would actually try if it's a creature of good, he will actually try to negotiate. If it's a deal, it's a deal. If not deal. He wouldn't like really. Nah, if it's a denizen of the lower planes, he would like basically manhandle them. Like, no, I'm the fucking wizard. You gotta do what I tell you to do, or else, or I'll kill you right here. Which is true. You could do that though, Lewis, right? During negotiation, let's say I summon like I don't know, what's a weak demon that you guys can think of? Level 12, 13.
A Gulugon.
No, that sounds strong. Hell no. What's a level 16? A chain. What do they call it? A chain demon with the chains.
Oh, the chain master.
Yeah. Let's say I summon one of those. That obviously I'm way stronger than one of those. Like I could be like, listen, you gotta do this, and that. And they'll try and ask, I want this or that. No, I'm gonna kill you if you don't. And I could just like outright slay them, destroy them, and they're dead.
What about what the hell?
No, let's just go with the beholders. You
I would say
yeah.
If it fails, it gets a will save. If it fails the will save, you trap it. Then it can try and break free, which means if you get a lower than 5 on your castle level check, it'll break free.
Yeah. This is like
charisma. The DC for the charisma check would be 26, which means it's only going to be able to pass on a 20. But it can try each match, or it can try each method once per day. So it would have 2 chances to try and get out every day, and then every day you would have to roll charisma checks to convince it to perform the service.
Colores at the moment is not adequately prepared.
And if you ever roll a 1 on the charisma check, that shit breaks free automatically.
If Claudius was really serious, to like buying something that powerful, he ain't stupid, man. Remember, he has like plus 25 intelligence first. He'll get a circle of persuasion, plus 3 to his freaking, his check. He'll get a freaking cloak of charisma plus 6.
Like crazy.
Yeah, that Claudius will take a week if he has to gather up all the equipment, magical items, and anything that's that will freaking boost his his I want to call it his bonus, and anything that will give that creature a penalty, which they are. Probably something from a Sisyphus, like the Abyss, like a desecrated holy symbol from the Abyss. Show it to that Planetar. Be like, -2 penalty, unholy symbol. Anyway, let's continue, Lou. Our trust. That's what we're doing with the loot, and we're gonna have the chain of eyes on one of the. As a matter of fact, I could even put a telepathic bond on their leader, one of the adjudicators' leader, and connect the two related. So if anything, they could communicate.
What is when you use gate? What does it bring through the portal?
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Wait, so if I say like gate and Baylor just walks through like without
if it wants to.
Right.
The second effect could cause an extraplanar creature by naming a particular being or kind of being. So you could even say Demon Lord. You could even say Demogorgon.
I'd be like Drats. You be like Drats will just walk through like
Drats. You cause the gate to open in the immediate vicinity of the desired creature and pull the subject through, willing or unwilling. Deities and unique beings are under no compulsion to come through the gate. So if you did it to Demogorgon, he doesn't have to come through. He could send somebody else in there. But if it's anything
So
less
what
powerful
about-
than that, the use of the spell creates a gate that remains open long enough to transport the called creatures. This use of the spell has
Yo, I swear to God, on next campaign, I'm leveling a wizard, and I'm going gate. I'm just gating shit. Niggas is gonna kill
Oh
me.
my god. If you choose to call a kind of creature, it can be a single creature of any hit dice.
Tarask.
Look, it even says it here. Some creatures may want their payment in livestock rather than in coin.
No, I'm gonna be like Tarask.
What if some of them want payment in souls?
It's a ras. If it's an
You
extra
trying to
player,
hit
it's a
me?
ras.
Huh?
I'm trying to hear me. I'm like Tarask.
A Tarask is not an extra planar creature.
Well, Asmodeus.
He doesn't Asmodeus. He doesn't have to step through. Just send somebody else.
I'm gonna call something bad.
I mean, even if he did, you wouldn't be able to control it. It says you can control up to what? Twice your caster level and hit dice if you so.
I would be like, what is that shit called?
So Claudius casting Gate right now. He can control a creature up to 50 hit dice that came through the gate. God damn.
Claudius, let's go. Gate of Baylor, son.
Gate of 50 hit.
I
Gate
could
of
gate
50
in,
hit die, Baylor. Jesus.
I could gate in Elminster. We all know he's an extra planar.
Yo, Claudius, I need you to do that real quick. Be like, you know what? Let me show you how that's done. Gate. Baylor walks through, nigga. You're mine. Get him. Gate Metua. I'm extra planar now.
I'll summon a Duke, man. I'll summon a Duke. A demon Duke. No, not a demon, a devil Duke.
Y'all niggas are playing, son. I'm gating in devils and demons all day.
I'm trying to break the game, man. I'm keeping it mortal.
It's not breaking, man. You can
mortal level,
gate in what you want.
Yeah, but guess what? Claudius is too greedy. How much it costs to cast that spell? You know, Claudius.
Look it up. I'll give you the money. Hold on, let me find out.
Well, it used to be 1,000 XP penalty in 3.5, but I know Lewis doesn't use that.
No, because it's Pathfinder. You don't take XP penalties.
Yeah, because I could just get that XP. Gate is in Pathfinder.
So I'm looking this shit up right now. We're about to start using Gate.
Material. Let's see what how much costs.
I got you. I'm gonna send you the equipment.
Oh, here it is. The use of the spell has a material cost of 10,000 GP in a rare instance and offering. I don't know, man. 10,000 GP.
I got you, Claudius. I can afford it.
Okay. All right. What do you want me to summon you? A genie?
Actually, technically speaking,
3 wishes?
Can't you use the magical items as a GP value?
Yeah, you could. Smash it into incense, whatever. I guess we could just bring in 50, hit dice, not hit dice, like a 50 level, demi level power being to do the battles for us. We could just sit back and relax and drink some,
Yeah, that's crazy.
rum and ice, rum and coke.
Baylor Tanari. That shit walked like
I guess that's how you have like these wealthy nobles that they have like powerful wizards under their
Lewis. Have some gate, something on her, son.
All right, are you summoning the spectator?
Yeah, I told you already. Like, yes.
Okay. We're talking. Everybody's talking about summoning.
No. Put the super spectators there, the adjudicators, and then the golem if they're still around. If not, who cares? We have Chain of Eyes. We're putting alarm everywhere, and a telepathic radic bond between the leader of the adjudicators, or the one that seems to probably survive, maybe they're cleric, and to Valatinum. So if anything, they could contact him if anything's going on. They could report to him. I think that's pretty safe, safeguard for short notice, right, guys? Mm-hmm. So they could communicate with Valatinum, and I could see through them if anything, and the beholders, yeah. Oh. And obviously the beholders, if they don't do what they're told to do or whatever, the consequence is a gruesome, not just death, a gruesome death.
Damn. Roll your charisma.
Cynthia, don't you got that spell that increases people's charisma? Prepare that spell and cast it on Claudius, please.
Yeah, no doubt.
There you go. So that
Yeah.
Voice of the Dragon, does that increase my charisma also? Let me see.
Yeah,
Voice of the
+1.
Dragon. What does Voice of the Dragon do? I forgot what that shit does.
And if this is a it's a
Well, one beholder auto failed. So. Well, unless Claudius also rolls a 1. You also have an additional you also have an additional +6 because of the nature of the service.
Okay.
Because these creatures,
that's what they do.
These creatures is what they want to do. They want to guard treasure. So.
Got it.
We have only 20 +7 right now.
What am I doing? A bluff check or just a regular charisma?
A charisma check. You just have to beat. You just have to beat my check.
Got it.
So for the first one, just don't roll a 1.
Got it.
Roll a 1.
Oh wait! Can I borrow Ben Soar's +6 to charisma headband?
Get out of here.
Wait, no, it's only.
I was say he doesn't have a charisma headband.
Oh, he don't got the perfect headband, right?
No, he doesn't have the one. He doesn't have the one that gives him +6 to all his stats. He doesn't have that.
He got the gimp.
He got the one that gives him bonus to.
How come I don't got that one?
Oh, he don't got the Trenton one. He got the.
Wait, Trent has one that gives it +6.
No, he doesn't. Trent doesn't have one.
Oh, I thought he did. Trenton.
No, Trent
has
one that gives him +6 to wisdom. That's it. He has something for strength also. He has something for strength, wisdom, and dex. He doesn't have the headband though. It's like separate items.
Wait, so how come I don't got the one that gives all stats?
You have the one that gives you a bonus to. What the fuck is this shit?
Give me the one on all stats.
I forgot what it was called. It's like perfect excellence or some shit like that.
The headband perfect.
You have one that gives a bonus to strength, dex, and wisdom. I think the headband is it's called headband of perfect excellence. It was like a bonus to all 6 stats.
That's crazy.
Oh, I thought Trenton has something like that.
No, Trent.
I was hearing. All right,
Trent no got that. All right. So first one, you summon this large spectator beholder kin that you've researched and know about because your knowledge planes is so freaking high. It wasn't hard for Claudius to think up of a particular spectator beholder kin to summon. It came and you didn't even need to. You realize as you're kind of convinced it to what you wanted to do. Within moments, it was like, yeah, sure. It was like, I rolled a 1 in that shit. It was like, okay.
Yeah. Keep in mind that I casted the magic circle around them through Cynthia's help, since it's a lot easier for her to get access to these spells than me having to hunt them down behind the scrolls. And I also put dimensional anchor on all of them as well. Okay, just in case I fail my check. All right, so let me see. Oh yeah, I gotta roll the second one, right?
Yeah.
Oh damn, I'm gonna fail that second one. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that probably failed.
All right. So all you got to do here, the only day, roll again, because it just means it's in the circle until you.
Ooh, that
Oh
one,
shit!
That's a possibility.
All right, so that beholder kin broke free and fucking plane shifted away.
No. He had dimensional anchor.
Oh yeah, dimensional anchor was on. That's right.
Yo. It ain't easy. It ain't easy escaping this conjurer. Can't attack me either, unless I don't think the barrier broke. And even if he tries, Messor will one punch him to death, and then I'll just summon another one. That's fucked up, man. Conjurers are fucking devils, man. That's why they got that pentagram star.
I am not crazy.
Oh, you have to cast dimensional anchor on the creature. The what? There's no save. Okay. So yeah, it's dimensional.
Yeah, it's no
All right, so I couldn't
there's no
even play
save.
shift A.
I think that means I can't do nothing that day with him. I have to come
No, if
up
you
the next
roll a
day.
1, it breaks free of the spell's effect and can escape
Okay.
or attack you. Wait, well, it doesn't want to attack you.
Oh, he could try and attack me. I mean,
Just doesn't. It just doesn't. It wasn't convinced to want to have the need to.
he knows the power of this wizard, fully buffed.
To guard your treasure. So it's flying around basically trying to find the way out.
Oh, man.
But you guys have the I mean you guys since you summoned it at the Pillar of Souls anyway, so you guys have that place locked.
Remember that? Remember the Pillar of Soul that they have like an actual dimensional place? I mean, to summon, call people with the diagrams. So it's like perfectly airtight and everything for that. For this, it's actually a very small room. So if anything, we could just lock them in there.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
locked in there with like dimensional anchor on.
Dimensional or I don't know. I guess we could have you know, we could try and tell him you know, relax and I'll point to mess or he's gonna take you down.
Damn.
You're not worthy of me.
I mean, since you got it locked in a room, I mean, chances are after about 25 minutes, the dimensional anchor will wear off. It'll just plane shift away.
I'm just gonna kill it, man. I'm gonna kill it. It's a dirty.
It's a calling spell. You killing is permanent.
I know.
That's fucked up.
Actually, what are the odds? What's his intelligence? Could he discover a way to actually come back here? That's what you know.
They're pretty smart. Oh yeah, on average, they're about intelligence of 15. Of course, you didn't summon an average spectator. You summoned the big, biggest one.
First of all, they don't know what primaterial world.
All right, so this spectator just disagreed with wanting to guard your treasure, and then when when it broke free.
It was a friendly negotiation.
I would say it broke free. It wanted to leave. It didn't attack you or any. It didn't attack you or anything.
Claudius goes like, all right, in good faith, I understand your conditions. And then he goes, snap his fingers, and he removes the anchor effect. All right, you're free to go. You're missing out on an opportunity here.
Just summon another one.
One in a lifetime. Yeah, he's just gonna summon another one. Yeah. I keep you gotta remind me, man. I'm thinking that they're evil, but they're not evil. I just remember they're actually
neutral. Yeah.
Neutral. Yeah, they're evil.
And they prefer. Yeah, they're not violent either. So.
Yeah, they're not violent. Yeah, I read. Yeah, you told me they're not violent. So there's no. I'm not gonna kill nobody in cold blood. That's what Kai is. I don't want to take over Kai.
Persona. Roll your charisma check.
Yeah. Okay, that one probably passed.
You see her. That one passed. So.
All right, there we go. We're good.
The third one you summoned, yeah, took almost 7. It was like 6-7 days for all three of them.
Jesus, damn, that's a lot of work.
Actually, no, it didn't take that long.
It took 2 days.
Yeah, it took like 2 days.
2 days, yeah. Actually, Lewis, I could have done all these summons on the same day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I could have just prepared a whole bunch of level 8 spells.
Just prepared them more than once.
I could summon 2 more if I wanted to, but I think 2 is enough.
All right, so you got the spectator beholders there. Since once the request service is completed, but since it's an open-ended service, they'll stay guarding it for 24 days.
Yeah, and at least for now, even though it's gonna wear off in probably like in a day, but I'm doing also telepathic rarity bond with one of them, and also chain of eyes on both of them. Since that and I'm gonna extend the spell with my wand of lesser extend, and I think it lasts 24 hours, so it should last for like 48 hours, I think.
Yeah, it'll be 2 days.
Yeah, so
you're doing. Okay. So you're gonna do those spells on it before your characters leave for Shadowhorn.
Right. Chain of Eyes on the both beholders. They have the highest durability. One of the adjudicators, and and telepathic routed bond from one of the adjudicators' leaders to Velatinum, and the beholders to myself. What happened to Orbeez? Did we send him in a dimensional plane? He's
God.
useless now though, because some
What up,
people cut off his eyes.
This says this dude evil. No, he's not evil.
Who's calling me evil, man? Me?
Pagan was like, is this dude evil?
Yeah, Pagan. I'm evil. I'm dominating and enslaving beholders now. And the rest of the parties are willing participants.
Let's see if I can get a
Nah. This guy Valet is like, I don't know what the hell Claudius is doing. He just pleads ignorance. I trust Claudius. He won't do nothing evil.
Valenum's not concerned with you being evil. Cynthia, however, would be.
Yeah.
Valenum would be concerned with you harming the city.
Binding who?
Harming the city.
Harming the city. Oh, nah, that's not. Claudius is a people's person. He doesn't hurt people. He doesn't even hurt demons. That's Mesua be killing, not even giving them a chance to repent. They say, oh, you're a demon. Boom! Cracking skulls left and right. For a wizard, Claudius is like as pacifist as you get from an archmage. This dude just be disabling people, paralyzed for a couple of hours or days, and then you're good to go. We're gonna call Mesua the executioner. You know they got an executioner hood, right, Mesua? I think it's in the Magic Item Companion. Why is Pecan watching? You should come join us and play.
He's waiting for the next campaign.
Oh, he's gonna play in the next campaign? Oh, okay. If he's playing, I'm playing.
I think so. Let's see. It's out again.
He wants to do a Rising Sun remake. He wants to play that Ravenloft.
He's got this.
Or the next generation.
Yeah, this is what the spectators look like. It looks like an
it would have been a cool end. Oh, cool. All right, that looks intimidating. We want that. we definitely want something like intimidating. We don't want.
They made that. I would say they made
the old one did not look like
they
that.
made this one look. They made this one look mad intimidating, but there's one that doesn't look that like that. Actually, no, that one kind of looks freaky looking too.
I'm kind of happy now. I could say that even though it's for like side panel stuff, at least I could finally say that I actually used Greater Planner Binding, one of the pinnacles of Conjurer's abilities. Even though I don't really use it in the actual adventuring, but at least I use all my stuff. Large. This guy used to get on my case. Ricky goes to that, but you don't be summoning shit. Kind of conjurer are you?
Who was like?
It was Ricky. He was getting on my case for that.
Ricky was like, you don't summon anything. It was Ricky. What the fuck, you're a conjurer.
What kind of conjurer are you? You don't summon anything. I think Watson was offending me. He's like, nah, man, he's a battlefield control wizard. No, but out of all classes of, you guys already know this though. Out of all schools of magic, though, yeah, conjuration is up there, top 3. A school I didn't used to respect as much as illusion, and it's actually up there in the top 3. I love illusions now. I guess I could thank Samuels for that. Samuel's very big in illusions.
I think I'm going to bring enchantment to the forefront. Enchantment.
Huh?
I like enchantment.
Enchantment is pretty freaking. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. If you like owning like people, like dominating them.
I like telepathy.
Put green on top of that red gem.
Yeah, red gem.
Green, that's fine. I could have opted to put a yellow in there and put the blue. I could have opted to put the blue here.
Let's see.
All right, so now what we need to go over is.
Louis Meteor wants to go back to that lake. We got hit by the fireballs.
Where you got raped?
We should go take care of that real quick.
We could.
Meteor would still go over there.
The Yuanti.
You guys are doing another side shit.
Lou's getting pissed.
Right, I'm gonna have to just start next week so I can set that one up.
Look, Mets
They
said
did
he
hit
was
us with
going
fireballs and like just left. Like it's okay.
Do you guys got a way to breathe? I know I could personally breathe underwater, but it's only a personal spell. Do you guys got a way that you could breathe underwater?
Metsuar doesn't breathe.
Come on, you know damn well we can fucking fix that problem real easy.
That's true. Yeah, breathe water. Yeah, I guess we could just teleport underneath the depth.
That is not a problem at all, man.
Lewis Metsuar went to
We
go
can
there.
sink a whole ship underneath that water. Look at it.
Oh, Messor's going there by himself.
Oh, wait.
How?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait. No, Lewis, wait. I think Valenum has a point.
It's like 1,000 miles away.
I think, guys, I'm talking in character. Guys, if you remember, probably the reason that Solarian Soul didn't come back was because he wasn't able to get that wand braces. That wand braces. If we were to get that wand braces for the Wanties, we might be able to bring
You think all this time the reason why his soul didn't come back is because we didn't get that wand for him?
Dude, I swear to God, the real Ricky will come back just so he can use that shit. He really wanted that. And it's worth like 25K.
Wait. All right. I gotta ask you this. Yo, Lewis, if Cynthia were to cast like a high level like divine spell to ask a question, like why didn't Zalarian's soul come back? Right, and then I go to him in real life and confirm that was the reason why.
Okay. Okay.
If upon hearing that in character, would I be able to go and like get the wand bracer and then cast resurrection on Zanari and bring him back?
It's two things he wanted, that and the gold.
You would have to go back to Ricky and be like, "We got your wand braces that Lauren wanted,
and the gold.
Resurrected him. Are you coming back?"
Right.
And if he says yes, then yes.
It's worth a shot.
And he'll come back to life, but then Rick needs to be here on Monday nights.
It still won't work. Ricky's gonna come back one level lower. There's no way he's gonna
come back one level lower. He's gonna want to get power game.
There's no
power
way,
leveled up.
Unless we're gonna go on a bunch of side quests.
Please, his character's so goddamn cheesy. He'll be able.
He could become the leader of the adjudicators.
Yes.
No, Lewis, he will not.
Yes, he will.
Lewis, the fight we just had. There's no way he was gonna live that.
No, he would have died.
No, he would have died.
Yes, he would.
I would have protected him.
There's no way you guys could protect him.
You can't protect him all the time.
You power level him up.
We're facing motherfuckers who are using weapons to break fucking 7th level spells. What are you talking about? This motherfucker T-Rock was like, "Get your magic out of here."
Yeah.
What the hell is Hardy gonna do? This nigga, all his spells target. Like,
even the minions probably would have been like in his level range. The minions.
What the fuck was he gonna do to T-Rock? Because you know damn well he was gonna miss and die. So I'm sorry, he's not gonna be able to fucking hang with us unless we go on a side quest to get him up to par.
He would have to.
We send him adventuring with the adjudicators, man. Go to Sidious, just power game over there, gain levels, man.
Yeah, because then he could play with Lewis by himself. Until he gets high enough level, come back to the group.
Ricky will come back. He ain't free, man. Is he working right now?
Yeah, his work's
all right.
Cynthia has a high level planar check, so we could ask her, hey, which plane, the time passes very slow. So like 2 years for Ricky will pass. For us, only like 1 day in total. When he come back, he'll probably be higher level than us. Be like, yo, let's go.
His time schedule, his schedule for work is too fucked up.
All right.
So even if you wanted to,
unless that fucking job is gone, or unless we do it on the weekends.
I'm down with the weekend. I'm down with the weekend.
I'm down with the weekend too, but
you're here to. You gotta leave at 10:30.
No, I gotta get 10:30, but we have the whole fucking day. Like,
all right, well then I have to start the session at like 6.
I'll make sacrifices. I'm good. I'll make sacrifices.
I have to start the session at like 5 or 6.
Even in the morning, if it's the weekend, I'll make sacrifices. In morning, afternoon, I'll work around my real life schedule around D&D.
Well, who else is available around 5 or 6?
I am.
That's one.
Messer's like, nah, man. Look, even Messer too.
Messer, that's two.
That's a true fan. That's a true fan right there. There you go. What the fuck? There you go, man.
You just gotta let me know what time. Are we doing afternoon or night?
What the? He
Damn.
disappeared. Are you there, Darren?
He cut himself out.
Damn.
He said afternoon. It would be afternoon.
Man, anytime you guys want. Man,
It
there was
would
a
be
time
like
that
it
we
would
used
be
to.
like a
let me know
it
what
would be
time.
like a 5 to 10 or 6 to 10 or something like that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Rest of the night to do whatever. I'm down, man.
That works for me, man.
I'm down.
Well, I have work at 10 o'clock at night, so what are you talking, Saturday? It'll be fine.
Well, he's an hour ahead, so it'd be like 9 o'clock here. It would have to be like a
5 to 10.
I don't know. You would have to be at work by 10.
Yes, by 10.
Yeah. So you give him like 30 minutes. I would have to start at. I'd have to start at like. I'd have to start at like 5, 4 my time, and then stop at like 9.
That's a lot of hours. Sounds good to me.
That's like it's like a 4-hour shift.
That's almost like what we're doing now. Kind of. Actually, we're playing less now because we're playing 9 to 1, right?
It's about
We
4
do now.
hours.
We play in the one. Not all the time.
No,
Sometimes
not
we
all the
stop
time.
at 12.
It's about
Yeah, exactly.
it's like
About
average.
4
It's like
hours.
average 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah, we're playing right now on average, I think, like 2 hours.
Our average has always been about 4. I'm listening to a lot of our old sessions. A lot of the videos were like 4 hours long.
What about
Sometimes they went to
Ricky?
5, but
Is Ricky free during on that time frame also or no? Ricky,
He's free on the weekends usually.
Friday,
dude, I
Saturday.
tell you,
That's
man,
it.
I'm conceited, man.
Saturday
Louis,
is the most freest day.
Let's say. Yeah.
Friday, he doesn't go to work during the day. He's free on Fridays. He's free on Saturdays. Sundays.
We could have Solari come back from the dead with just one eye. You know, the other dot eye, he lost it. You know, we'll have a golem waiting for him. Dude, I'll customize that golem. I'll take the feet so he could like go in there, like a mecha suit, Voltron.
Oh my
There you go, man.
God.
You become one.
Hey, you sound like
You
you need
become
these
one.
golems to help you out.
Yeah.
He always wanted
He always wanted to
golem.
go anyway.
Dude, he was tight. Yo, I swear to God, ever since Lewis put like a lot of barriers for the golem and then with the wand bracers, that's when he lost interest. He like, man, fuck this shit.
The thing is, he
It's like
could
a
make the wand bracelets himself.
because he
I'm gonna
played.
have a character that's gonna make wand bracelets. Like you could craft it yourself.
He played all the way up to like chapter 5.
The thing is that at the level that we were at, Matt, I think the wand bracers are very expensive. Not at the level that we're at now, but at those levels. I think that what were they worth, Lewis? Like 35K?
They're like
The wand bracers? Like 60K, man.
Braces
We were like level 8,
60K.
level 9. Yeah, that's worth more than 80% of your wealth for a character at the levels we were at. That's why Lewis was hesitant, like, wait, that's a very pricey item. Yeah. He just had to wait a few more levels though. We could have crafted that shit. All you need is
He could
craft
have made it
fucking one of
himself,
those items.
though.
Yeah, we could have. Just save your loot. See,
Right.
the good thing about
He
Solarian
wanted
is
it so
he don't
bad,
even-
he saved the money for it.
listen, and it's easy for him to save the money. Most melee character, you waste most of your money is on a weapon. But he ain't had to waste no money on a weapon because he has the Black
Right.
Blade that levels up on his own. So that means all that loot on your weapon could have gone to, for those items.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what makes characters like monks very strong too. You don't got to waste money on a freaking main weapon. Being a fighter, knight, all those, those are like, to me, those are like the toughest classes to gear up because you need a freaking good weapon, which is expensive. Let's put it this way, Matt. If you try to pull a Tusk Ulbrich in this day and age, it's impossible. Have 4 powerful ass weapons.
Actually,
awesome.
it's not that expensive. The way I'm playing Tusk is he was gonna make them himself. So I mean, like, it would be expensive, but from what I'm looking at right now, if you dedicate your character to the idea of just making items, you could make them cheaper than you would like if you didn't like dedicate yourself to doing it. Like next level, I'm making a character that all he does is like make money. So I'm reading about like economies and like taking feats to like make shit.
Even a fighter that gets a lot of feats, that's still a lot of feats though that you got to get. Because a fighter, I know now the Pathfinder lets you craft your own magic weapons, but like check this out. You got to get, not only do you got to get craft magic arms and armor, you also have to get the craft Martisan something feat. I think Lewis was telling me. So you have to get both. That feat that lets fighter craft magical items, and then on top of the create magical item armor weapon as well. So that's like 2 feats you're down already.
Well,
And yes,
that
I
actually,
know
I would say
get a
this.
lot of feats, but you still need all those feats for your combos, for your fighting.
I would say 4 feet because there's 2 feats that allow you to create magical items quicker and cheaper, and everyone who focuses on doing that should get that. And then there's the 2 feats that allow you to craft the magical weapons without being
Look
like
at that.
a spellcaster.
Claudius could make these
As a
braces
fighter, I would definitely get those 4 feats.
salvaging the freaking items that you guys got now.
As a fighter, or at least a fighter I'm making Tusk to be, he would definitely get those 4 feats. Because I would rather be the fighter that's walking around with 4 great swords that I made myself, than like a weird assortment of just magical items that I just picked up.
That was always a cool concept though, having like a particular tool or weapon in your case for like a particular job.
Right.
Like if you were fighting a dragon, I think you had like a dragon slayer type weapon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I actually wanted to make who is this? Oh, I was talking about like Tusk and like crafting shit. And I actually wanted to get the feat for an exotic weapon where I could create like a hilt that exchanges like blades. So I could have it where like if I could basically wield like one sword, but in like one swing you get hit with like one blade or the other, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Like mounting 2 blades side by side in one hilt.
Right. I've seen blades like that. You know, like those 3-bladed swords. I mean, the katars, not katars. What are they called? It's like a dagger, like a 3-bladed daggers, but probably like in a sword style instead, like longer.
Mm-hmm.
No, Louis, I was telling Matt was that pulling a Tusk now, with the rules that 3.5 and Pathfinder added, like it's more difficult. Meaning, like, let's say like by level 12, for example, actually having 4 very strong weapons, not just the weapon that is strong, but the utility of them. One weapon that's good at dragon slaying, one weapon that is good at fighting fire-based creatures, and so forth. Because weapons in D&D is like very expensive. It's more expensive than armor, shield. Like by level 12, let's say
but that's talking about a character that's like trying to have a solo career. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're playing D&D as a team-based game, like, a warrior wouldn't need all that. He's got a wizard friend that can just cast a bane on his weapon, or make his put fire on his sword if he needs it. But if we're talking about somebody who's like trying to solo, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think it'll be easy. It's gonna be expensive, but it's doable.
Unless, a mag is a black blade. At least one of their weapons is free.
I mean, anything is gonna be tough.
Now you can focus like Solarian if he wanted to. His second, let's say he wanted a secondary weapon. He could get like a different type of special niche, weapon. What we fought a lot in this campaign, demons, demodons. Yeah, he could have gotten.
I mean, you always put stuff on your weapons. There's a special ability called, I think it's called Enemy Bane or something. Greater Bane. It's something where like.
Oh, the +3 channel one, right?
It's the one where if you hit the creature on your next turn, it switches to the Bane.
For the next 10 rounds, it switches to that Bane. The first one you gotta hit him. It don't do anything, but then for the next 10 rounds, it's a Bane for that particular creature.
Is it 10 rounds? I thought it just stays that way until you hit something else.
I think it was 10 rounds. Oh, well, maybe you're right. I could have sworn it was like 10 rounds. And then if you hit something else, though, it'll reset to something else.
Right. And then there's an ability for shields called a variable, where you can just change the shield type.
Yo, I found a spell that Wakanda used to hide itself from the rest of the world. It's actually just a 5th level spell. It's called Village Veil. Making areas seem worthless to others.
Village Veil.
I heard of that spell.
That's funny.
This is the Wakanda spell.
It's the Wakanda spell.
I guess they made it epic because they cover an entire nation, not a village.
That's
right.
True.
It's a mythol. That's what
mythol, yeah. They made it into a mythol, yeah.
I'm not crazy. I know this spell exists. I'm gonna find it.
Alright, so what we need so we got the treasure settled.
Yeah, we the treasure
Yeah,
center.
everything that you got is
We're gonna invest that money. It's not even that
you
we're
got your
buying
gems, your gold, your platinum pieces, and all magic items. There's an armory in there now. And if anybody finds and successfully gets that shit, they're like, oh, I can arm some motherfuckers with this shit. But
Leave our philosopher's egg alone, son. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
leave our NASDAQ alone, bro.
He's a
This is the real
philosopher's
Chizak.
egg.
Yeah, we're about to become the new Patriots now, son. We got all this money to fund all this shit.
Oh, that's why you called it that.
A lot of you like,
Yeah.
no, nigga,
I'm
was
like,
good.
what the philosopher's egg? You meant philosopher's legacy?
Philosopher's legacy.
He said, leave our philosopher's
Yeah, leave our loot alone.
Oh shit.
We're not even trying to buy no artifact, none of that crap. We just want to become powerful with money.
Yeah, I saw that you were watching. Did you watch all of them?
Not all of them. No, I got interrupted. I usually watch it while I eat.
All right, I need to do more before you catch up.
I have
I've been
another. The video
slacking.
I'm watching right now, I'm like halfway through. It's like an hour and change, and I have
What are you
another
watching? A game? You watching Metal Gear Solid?
I watched Luke play.
I'll play some missions and I'll save it on my YouTube channel so that he could watch it on his own time.
Oh, that's cool. So instead of playing the games, you just rather watch it.
Right. Well,
yeah, some games like I'd rather.
Well, he's
watch
he's
a good story, you know.
He's always watched. When it came to Metal Gear, he watched all the Metal Gears with me. But since we have such tight schedules, like it's hard for him to like come over here and for me to play it in person.
Dude, I'm lazy to play.
So he was like, why? He's like, why? He's like, why don't you just play the whole game storyline and just save it on your YouTube channel? And he's like, that way I can just watch it my own time. I was like, oh yeah, why don't I just fucking do that the whole time?
That means technically speaking, I've been streaming Louis games before there was ever a streaming.
Pretty much. Cause you were like, I don't, yeah. Cause it was like, why play it? And he just watch it.
When I used to,
I watched him play like all the way back to like Twin Snakes.
Because the story,
over his house and watched him play
the story
Twin
was as interesting, if not more, than the gameplay. So it was like,
yeah.
So all the way back to like fucking.
The gameplay is quick. Like I could fly. If I did just the gameplay, I'd fly through it. What makes the game long is if you listen to all the radio calls and watch all the cutscenes. When you choose to delve into the story as deep as you can, that's what takes up the time.
When he played Twin Snakes for me, like I was watching that like back at his old house.
Oh, Twin Snakes, God.
When he played that,
you know what I find surprising is like there's some fans out there that really didn't like Twin Snakes.
How could you not like Twin Snakes?
They didn't like
fucking Solid with his shirt off and shit.
You know what the number one complaint was?
What?
They didn't like the cutscenes.
What?
The cutscenes were the fucking
that was like the best part.
That was the best part of the fucking game.
What?
I don't know. They didn't like how over the top some of this shit was. Like what the when you
beat must really hate Metal Gear now.
Like when you beat the high knee and Liquid shoots he shoots a missile. And Snake
bounce off the missile.
And Snake jumps up with the rocket launcher. He like his foot lands on top of the missile. And he pushes off the missile and fucking shoots. But I'm sitting here like, even without the cutscenes, like if you were to take the story in its original form and talk about it,
it would be stupid.
It was over the top anyway.
Like how the fuck does one man beat fucking Raven in a fucking tank?
This one man beat
okay.
Right. And then when you fight Raven himself, Raven's a fucking 7-foot big ass Alaskan with a turret made for a fighter jet.
Right.
That's not over the top.
Right, come on now.
How's that not over the top? You know?
They must really hate fucking Metal Gear,
you got
man.
Liquid telling him, oh, we're basically super soldiers because we got the best genetic qualities of soldiers, and so, like, Decoy Octopus.
Yeah.
He fucking drinks your DNA and looks like you. There's still been no explanation on that. Because you know how Hideo Kojima's kind of explain, like you know how he explained vamp shit?
Yeah.
Like coming with nanomachines.
And
for some reason, Decoy Octopus's shit has not been fucking explained. But You know there is a scientific explanation behind it. And I think there's some theories out there as to why he's able to do that. But yeah, I mean, come on. Talking about the cutscenes are over the top. Look at who he's fucking fighting.
Right.
He's got one man against a walking tank, a walking nuclear tank. One man, and this wasn't his first time beating it. Apparently, he's done it twice before. So, like, people, it was amazing how so many people were like, oh, I didn't like Twin Snakes fucking cutscenes. Oh, the cutscenes. It's like what? Cutscenes were godlike. Like when he fought Gray Fox hand to
That shit
hand,
was fucking dope.
hand to hand. It's like, cause like even without the cutscene, I'm sitting here like, how the fuck am I beating this motherfucker hand to hand? He's a fucking cybernetic fucking, you know, cybernetic cybernetic ninja, and then you come to find out at the end of the game that Snake is the one with the recessive fucking qualities to begin with.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the right.
Right. So,
I'm 3.
but he beat him hand to hand. But like when I watch the cutscenes in Twin Snakes, at least at that point it makes sense to me, because I'm seeing Snake pull this shit off, and it's looking godlike. It's like he's looking like the super soldier that he's fucking supposed to be created as, He's doing the shit Big Boss is supposed to be fucking, be doing. And then you look at Big Boss and shit. Look at the fuck shit he's dealing with. Fucking, he's fighting fucking Metal Gears before fucking Solid Snake. Yeah, that pissed me off, and I was like, cutscenes over the top. You fucking crazy? That's goddamn fucking.
Louis, I'm casting this spell several times in the Pillar of Souls. I don't got no material spell components, so I could cast it a lot of times. Dimensional Lock.
Yeah.
20-foot radius. It prevents any sort of interdimensional teleportation, whether it's planar shift, teleport, greater teleport, and it lasts 1 day per caster level. So yeah, that will last a whole month if I cast several of those. Only like in key areas.
Oh shit! Damn.
Look at that. There you go, Watson. I found the ultimate, spell, so people can't teleport in the area.
There you go.
Click on it, man. Dimensional.
I'm looking at it.
Click on that spell, bro. I know you're gonna like that.
Well, how many AF slots do you have a day?
I got like
abjuration.
Is this a conjuration? Good. So I could
no,
use all
no,
my
no.
slots.
It's abjuration.
Oh no, it's abjuration. Abjuration.
Like what?
Let me see how many slots I have.
2, 3.
2, and then I could use 2 of my conjurations. 2 of them to prepare one of them. 2.
3 must be so it's 2 slots.
Yeah, 1 day per level. That's a nice amount of time. 12 for re-examination. And then you could widen that if you wanted to.
He doesn't have a rod.
Well, I can't widen it. I can't widen it. It's too high level.
Unless he had a rod. He doesn't have a rod.
Yeah, it's too high level. Or yeah.
The greater widened rod would do it, but you don't have that. Oh.
Let me see. I got 5 slots. 3
tell you how
that is
I like
regular.
Big Boss is.
The two open
slots.
Off that shit with the recessive. So Louis, I could prepare 4 times. I could prepare 4 times per
Big
day.
Boss is a god.
You heard, Luke?
What?
I could prepare 4 times per day because I got 3 regular slots and then 2 that is conjuration. But 2 of them I could use to prepare 1 abjuration spell. So I could prepare it 4 times per day.
Wait, what? I see 1 slot and I see 4 bonus slots, but 3 have to be conjuration, so it just leaves 1. Where are the other 2 slots?
Oh, wait, never mind. 3 is conjuration, so those 2 of those conjurations could be used for me to learn a spell from another spell. Wait, that's from another
3
skill,
must
right?
be conjuration. You have 1 bonus spell slot and 1 regular slot that you could use for non-conjuration. So you have 2 slots for non-conjuration that you throw those spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I could have used my 2 conjuration bonus slots to prepare, let's say, like a necromantic spell if I wanted to. Because it's you know that you could use 2 slots to prepare a spell from a prohibited school. If even though it's something else.
No, the bonus spell slots, they have to be a conjuration spell. That's the limitation.
They always have to be.
Yeah.
Even though Pathfinder added that new rule that you can use two of your spell slots to cast a
No.
spell
It's
from a
because
player.
it's because of your class features. You get what the class features gave you was they gave you a bonus spell slot. Basically, you can prepare an extra spell, but the spell has to be conjuration.
Okay. Well, I don't intend to cast it on the entire area. In the secret area where we're gonna have these these items, I'm casting these spells because I think it would take too long to do the entire area, 2 spells per day.
Mm. Yeah, it would take a while.
Exactly. So he's not gonna do it in the entire area. Wherever we're gonna put the treasure at, like obviously we're adding like a chamber, another chamber, or let's say one of the existing chambers, we close it off and make it seem like there's no other chamber, like a secret chamber.
Right.
That will be trapped. We'll have one of the beholders in there, and then everything, the dimensional lock, because that means not even the beholder himself could like teleport or whatever in that room. It almost sounds like something I'm pulling out of your page, Louis, what you did to us when we fought Orbeez. Like, you trying to teleport anything? I'm doing the same thing, man. I'm pulling an Orbeez tactics over here. So if somebody actually gets there, yeah.
Oh no, Orbeez had the anti-magic ray. He was, I think he kept shining it on Claudius.
Yeah.
Claudius and
I was
Metzgar, he
outside of that
kept
room.
like.
Yeah.
I don't want you using any of your shit.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, you know what? I did because I gave Orbeez he had a beholder feat that lets him instead of 150 foot cone, he could like focus it and center it on like one person. I think I had him do that. I think he had it on Claudius for a while. Something like that. I know he locked somebody out completely. I think it was Claudius, and then I think he might have.
Yeah. No, he was outside of the room. Yeah, and he could have dimension door back in, but then he would have been a target.
That shit was great. That was a pretty good fight. Like I like how that went down.
Yeah, people got emotional, man, after the fight. Cutting his eyes out. Well, I'm like, what the fuck? Torturing a guy that got defeated.
I was Cynthia started fucking dissecting him. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
Cynthia and Kai were like, wow, man. That's cruelty to an intelligent being.
How are you gonna dissect the beholder on the fucking spot, son? Don't even get a fucking operating table or anything. Motherfuckers just start hacking them.
No anesthesia.
I'm not trying to get disintegrated. Chill.
He said, watch him come back as an undead beholder. I still come up like.
Not undead, man. He's gonna be the blind beholder. All these greater blind feats, whatever. Yeah. He probably became a sorcerer.
A blind beholder is the most handicapped fucking monster in existence. Huh?
I know. Well, but now, like, thanks for blinding me. Now I became.
I found 11 eyes.
He'll be like, I found my true calling. I'm a level 20 scion now.
Daredevil beholder.
Yeah, that dude watches this.
There's one. The beholder mages. They sacrifice their central eye so that they can cast magic, powerful magic.
Fuck that! Oh, a big eyeball.
Beholder mage.
Beholder, yeah, they get up to 9th level spells real quick.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a 10 level class. They only need to get. They get all 10 levels of class. They already got fucking 1st to 9th spells. Yeah, and I think they could cast a spell. I think they could cast the spells through their eye stalks on top of that. Some crazy shit like that. I was like, damn.
That's why I'll be like, you done fucked up, nigga. You need that anti-magic guy.
Fuck it. He's like, I could cast anti-magic. He's like,
yeah,
I could cast 3 different versions of anti-magic.
No, but too bad you close to me, nigga. Attack opportunity.
He's flying in the air. Get out of
here. Oh, super mess.
Alright, so what we need to go over is the party's buffs before they make their raid on Shadowhorn.
We're not going to there. We're going to the lake first.
How about
Wait, are you serious about the lake? Because I have to go make up the lake
no,
side quest.
Wait. Check it out. We could go where we're supposed to go at now, but Lewis could make it seem like we did this like 10 days later. Therefore, if we actually go back to it, we could do that before the main quest. Does that make sense? You know, like when you skip a chapter and then you go back, like a flashback. You know, previously, you know, we could do a flashback episode.
That'd be fucking crazy. Or you could just fuck up Cage Rise and then deal with the side quest.
I know it's gonna be fucked up. Gotta be level 19, messing around
I
with
know
level 10. Well, you know, Cynthia did her, you know, greater divine spell to see whether what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Fucking Zalari. Why he will
return?
No, it's Zalari. Yeah, if you'll return, you know, if there's a golem or the one racers. That'll be some fucked up shit. He'll be like, actually, yes, I would, but I'm working. And they're like, actually, we can fix that.
They were
really? So what's the consensus, guys? So we gotta wait until next week for the cycle, or just move on to the next chapter right now.
I think we should move on only because I'm pretty eager to see the end of this.
Me too. Let's go.
I want to go to the side quest.
Dude, when we're level 20 plus, we'll go all these loose ends, man. We were like,
all right. So Metsora, you were Valenum and Claudius both tell Metsora, no, we shall take care of that event after we deal with the Cage Rise.
We must avenge your father.
Zyno.
You're right.
Zyno pretty much. Yeah, Zyno's like, we still have to find out what happened to your father's soul. You don't want to have to spend time elsewhere.
Don't be trying to use fuck out here, Lewis.
You're the scapegoat of our greediness. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Don't forget, like the shackled souls, like their bodies are dead, but their souls did not pass.
Don't try to tell me that. I didn't want to come to this fucking place.
Their souls did not pass into the afterlife. They're being held somewhere, and it's most likely it's obviously because by the Cage Rise.
We could afford now.
They basically have your loved one's souls under fucking hostage, is what it is.
Well, now we have the wealth to create new clones for their souls once we retain them.
We couldn't use it for the ritual. Y'all fucked us up on that. Let's just take these souls, use it for something else, maybe. You guys
sell it to Mephisto or Diablo. Make a soul stone. Yeah, make a soul stone out of him. Like stab it on Diablo.
That's funny. All right, so we'll do the we'll go raid this place and we'll wait till next week.
There'll be a flashback, man. We're back.
I figure we're done for the night, right? It's already 12.
No, it's 12 your time. Nothing here.
Oh, okay.
Unless you forgot to put your hour ahead.
Right, daylight savings. I need another party's buffs.
Wait, what time is it?
It's 12 for us, East.
Yeah, 12 for you guys. I thought we end at 12-hour time.
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay, now.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
No, we usually end at 12-hour time. But we could go an extra hour if you want.
Let's go like 30 minutes. Well, you know what? Honestly, let's just...
You guys end 12 your time before daylight savings time. Because if you ended 12 your time, that means we ended
at 11.
At 11 here. We don't end at 11 here. We end at 12.
Well, lately we have pushed it a little bit.
We have? I think we always...
No, we have been pushing it, yeah. Because usually I was playing only until 12.
Yeah.
Because that's why we started.
That's where we start at 8. That's where we try to start at 8/9 o'clock their time. So we
that's why we're supposed to start at 8 your time, 9 my time. It's supposed to be 8 to 12 your time. But sometimes we pushing it, going like an extra hour.
No, I know a good stopping point. Let me just get the. I just need to know the buffs, and then your characters can.
My list of buffs are the same. She just renews them.
Yeah. All the heroes feast.
Yeah, all those last for like more than 24 hours.
I think Lewis too. Also, like I gotta get up at 5 a.m. for work.
Yeah, so
usually after session I'm too hyped, so I don't fall asleep. I don't fall asleep right away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like, at least in my mind when I'm in bed, 30 minutes what's going on in the session is in my head.
But what I want to, I just want to. Let's see. since
We
you guys.
already know the buffs. Just put the same buffs on we had before.
No.
Yeah,
I want to make sure.
saying-
I want to know. I want to do this now so that the next time we play, like we don't have to worry about any of that shit. It's all set. We just start right away.
Okay, but I'll
I'm
Well,
resend
we
you
can
the
do
buff.
that on WhatsApp. Just send it on WhatsApp.
I'm doing the same buff and same spells I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
I'll
buffs.
resend you the buff. About stuff that you have now. I'll send it to you.
Like I have
It's the
Blessed
same
Aim on here, but Blessed Aim doesn't last that long, does it?
No,
I
I
gotta take
want
it
to see the 24-hour buffs. The buffs that we're gonna have that's only gonna be
Here's
for
what
that
I have.
fight. We're probably gonna cast
Here's what
those
I have.
before we go
Celestial Brilliance is what is that? Permanent? Is that permanent?
in. Yeah, like you should have Axiomatic Creature on Cynthia and Helena.
That's permanent.
Pact of
I already have
Return
that.
Extended should be on everybody.
Path of what?
Pact of Return.
What is that?
Pact of Return. I don't even have that here.
Dang. Pact of Return Extended. 9 lives is cast on her. Refuge is cast twice for everyone.
Wait, what's Pact of Return?
Basically allows her to teleport if like something goes wrong.
It lasts an hour per level.
Oh, that's something
Oh
that
no,
you
see, I need to know this because yeah, this
Right.
is important because you're throwing out a lot of high level spell slots, but I don't know if you have enough slots to be doing that with. All right, so like for Cynthia, here's what I have. Is this shit that she's trying to extend to?
This stuff that she has extended. Pact of Return. should
Okay,
be
so
good.
the stuff that's extended, since it's one spell level.
Now the stuff that's extended which should be
If you
6,
have a 7th level spell being extended, you can only do
one of
one.
those. Right.
Okay, so which one is that?
I don't have them listed by spell levels. I just have
Is
an
it Pact
entire
of
list of
Return?
everything that I have.
Is it Pact of Return?
I have Pact of Return extended.
Alright, so then that's the only... That's the one that's gonna... 60. That's 32 hours. Okay, so that one will...
Is all of these spells that I have listed, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're all the ones that are for 24 hours or something. They're all at least like 2 days long.
Oh,
So
there's
as
Pact
long as
of
we
Return.
leave
Pact of
within
Return's right there. There it is.
yeah, as long as we leave for basically she prepares the spells like 2 days ahead.
No, I know. But you still gotta... I still gotta make sure you
That
know,
I can extend
that the
ones.
slots
Right.
are available.
So Pact of Return was one. 9 lives is not extended. I'll say the ones that extended. Sacred Guardian is extended on everyone.
Okay, Sacred Guardian is what spell level?
I don't know. I wrote down.
Sacred Guardian. It's a 5th level spell, and you're extending it on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it a 6th level slot. How many 6th level slots do you
What spell?
have? Sacred Guardian.
Sacred Guardian?
Yeah. She has 1, 2, 3. So only 3.
So it'll only take So it'll only take what 2 days to do that.
3.
That means she could do it on 6 people in 2 days.
Because how long would it last? Oh, it's 1 day per level.
One day, I was gonna say that's bad long. So I'm saying.
So she can pull all that off.
She can pull all that off before we even go.
How many people are there? 6.
That's 6 exactly. Because it should be us 3, and then you want to count what you call it, new drama. So she makes up 6.
Yeah. Alright, so we got...
Those are all the extended ones. So let's do a brilliance extended, but that lasts fucking forever.
That's the one I need.
Celestial
Wait, Sacred Guardian is 1 day per... Okay.
And Celestial Brilliance, I think, is 1 day per level too.
Wow, that's talk about like the
I say
ultimate.
if those are 1 day per level, she could
Right.
do that in advance. Like if in 15 days we're gonna go, she could have had that done.
Right.
Right.
And but those are the only ones that are extended. The rest that are not extended, but they're usually like permanent. So axiomatic creature.
Glowing orb is permanent. Right? Yeah. All the glowing
Lord.
orbs.
Oh, wait a minute. Greater luminous armor is extended on Cynthia, Dino Metsuar, and Udron. So I got 4 greater luminous armors on this. That's the last.
Greater luminous. All right. If we're extending the greater one, those are 5th level spells. 5th level spells at 32 hours. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She has 5 5th level spells.
There's only 6.
I think there's only because it can only work on good creatures, so we could exclude Claudius and Delaney.
What, Sacred Guard?
It's only on
One good
Great
creature
Luminous Armor
touch.
is only on Cynthia, Xyno, Metsu, and Udron. So only 4 of them have Great Luminous.
Okay, so that's the 5th levels.
Yeah, Claudius doesn't need it. Claudius is good.
Cast
I mean,
all the good people. Which is
Claudius is not supposed to be melee to begin with, but
Cynthia that was the 5th level slots.
everything else that she casts is permanent. So like axiomatic creature,
I'm not worried about that.
9 lives on herself. Yeah, refuge.
Oh, 9 lives. 9 lives lasts 1 hour per level. And that's an 8th level spell. So she used an 8th level slot for the pact spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means the day before they leave, she's using another 8th level slot to do 9 lives.
No, she could do because 9 lives last an
I don't, because
hour
I'm saying
per
that's 16
level.
hours.
She could
cast it, rest, and then. But she could cast. Well, no, she doesn't need the rest. She just needs to do it. She's a cleric. What time do you made her in the morning?
Dawn.
So she does. That's what I'm saying. She do the night before. She the night before rest, pray in the morning, get an 8th level slot. So yeah, that would use her. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that when the day arrives, if your characters are going to Shadowhorn, you have as many of your spell slots available instead of like using up spell slots to buff for the day that you're leaving, and then your spell slot. Then you got you're short on magic because because you didn't organize your buff spells correctly.
No, that's the plan. We're prepared. We know when we're gonna attack. Obviously, we will like cast these spells that we could cast days before,
Right.
so we could have all our slots fresh.
Refuge, I believe, is permanent. Everyone has 2 of those.
Refuge is permanent. So let me put that. Let me make sure that's.
Stalwart Pact, I believe, is also on everyone. Eagle Soul is another one that's permanent. That's on herself.
That's 1 hour per
I thought it was permanent to discharge. Eagle Soul?
level. 1 hour per level.
That's 8th level, right?
That's a 6th level spell.
6th level? Okay, well, she has that. She'll do that probably the
Which
same
I
time
think
that she does.
all your... What was the one that used the 6th level spells?
It was one I used, it was the one that she extended. Sacred Guardian extended? Is that the one that makes it 6th level?
But she was able to do that on... Because I also want to make sure you guys don't have too many illegal buffs. Sacred Guardian's 1 day per level. It's not that one.
Well, I don't know what other 5th level or 6th level would be taking it. Is it Greater Luminous Armor for the 4 of those? Extended?
Those took up 5th level slots.
So then I don't have any 6th
I
level.
don't think any 6th level slots were used.
Right, I don't have any 6th level.
So what are we putting on?
Eagle Soul. On
That's
herself.
1 hour.
She casts it, rests it, and
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
Heroes Feast is the next one.
That's 6th level. That lasts 24 hours. Okay. Right?
Well, she could do that from a scroll. She has a scroll of it. So that way I don't have to use the next one is Sustain on the group. Sustain is a domain spell.
That's the
That gotta be
domain, so yeah, that one has to be done.
The next one is Magic Vestment. She casts that on herself.
Magic Vestment, 16 hour spell. So she frees up a 3rd level slot. Alright.
And the last one is a Sacred Item cast on Ladinums.
Those are permanent ones, though, right?
Yeah, those are all.
Alright, so buffs are on, meaning all. Meaning the morning that she prays for her spell slot, she has. Alright, she's at full spell slot capacity. With the buffs on it. Which means the buffs that were 16 hours long, they got 7 hours on them, which. Obviously, your characters are gonna whatchamacallit, use magic to quickly get to the fucking site anyway. And once you get to the site, it's not gonna take those 7 hours to go through the place.
Once we get there, we can just hop in Corliss' carriage or one of his steeds or whatever. We'd be there in no time.
Alright, so I got Cynthia's buffs out there. Claudius.
You want mine? We're going with the long terms, right? 24-hour plus.
I think he wants you to go with the spells you have extended first. Any spells that you have mana magic on, and then from
Okay.
there he wants to go to like the permanent ones and shit like that.
Okay.
Wait, you have extend spell, right?
Every mage worth his salt should have extend spell.
I got the rod.
At least a rod.
You got the rod, yeah.
I don't know what magic users would do without meta magic rods. Whoever invented that shit, that was a smart motherfucker.
Alright, yeah, go with the ones that.
That are 24 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, those are easy. Okay. All right. So the heart of line spells: air, water, earth, and fire.
Alright.
Create magic tattoo. Extended. +1 to spellcaster.
All the heart spells.
Yeah. Air, water, earth, and fire.
Sounds like a Kingdom Hearts over here.
That would be the day before. Okay.
Yeah, the day before.
Create magic tattoo. You said is extended. So that would be 2 days before.
That could be 2 days before. It lasts 48 hours. Or it could be the day before, I guess. So it lasts 48 hours. Nah, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Want me to continue?
Yeah.
Dragon sight.
What's the spell up on that? 5th? Okay.
5th level spell, yeah. Contingency.
That's a contingency 6th level.
Detect scrying.
How long is that? That's an hour per level.
That's 1 hour per level?
I think it is.
Yeah, so it should be 25 hours.
4 hours. Yeah. Oh, it's 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah. Greater mage armor.
What's that? 24 hours. 25 actually. Yeah, tattoo.
Yeah, the tattoo. Yeah.
Great.
Elemental body air.
What's that one? 24 hours also.
Yes. And mind blank.
Yeah.
That's also 24 hours.
And moment of pressure.
Moment of pression. I've sent you this list before. It's basically the same. Just one little tweak.
Actually, moment of. Is that 8th level?
I believe so. Yes.
How many 8th? You have 2 8th level slots, correct?
Yes.
Two non-conjuration, I should say. Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the 2 8th level spells you were cast the day before. All right.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to make sure there's no illegal bugs. Like if you had a 3rd 8th level spell on there, I'd be like, I mean, you could do it, but then you would have to use it on the day of. Yeah.
No, I understand. Yeah. I mean, it'll be an error. Anyone can make mistakes at these levels, and having
Right, with this much magic floating around.
Yeah. So the next one is Greater Magic Wallop Messuar, but this time I'm casting it also on Valenum's Shield as well.
And that's a 3rd. Okay, those are 3rd level spells, and they last.
Yeah. Buff me, baby. Buff me. I need it.
Greater money.
Give it to me, baby.
Wallop. Messuar.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess your damage should significantly go up now. +5, higher. Then if we can get an enlarged weapon on that shield, it'll bring it up even 1 extra. Oh, enlarged person will work on you because you're extra planar, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm an outsider.
Okay. So and also greater magic weapon on everyone, whoever has a weapon, +5 attack and damage. So it could be your shield, your cestus, your shield spikes. This guy's foreheads, Mensor's forehead, anything. Yeah, my freaking staff +5, everything. Because I could do it all in anything within like a freaking 15-foot radius. could make it all +5. And for that, obviously, Lewis, what I'm doing is I'm using my Meta Magic feat to make that happen. Greater Magic Weapon with the chain spell, using Ultimate Spellcasting. To make that legal.
Chain spell would make it a 6th level spell. Oh, I see what you
No. With the Ultimate Magus ability. Or even I could cast it on the 6th slot also, you're right. But, yeah. Either way.
Oh, the Ultimate Magus ability. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Ultimate Magus, chain spell, yeah.
You're supposed to specialize a single target, has a range greater than touch.
Which it does.
Close range. One weapon. Okay.
That means everybody's weapon.
Which is supposed to affect that primary target normally, then arc to a number of secondary targets, maximum 20. Yep. Alright, so it chained. Alright, so let me get down.
Yeah, so like for example, Sino, I know he uses Scarlet, but he also has that secondary firearm. That's a +5 weapon also. So it could, his daggers, whatever.
That's right, a chained one would be better, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got up to 20 weapons then, so.
Yep. I mean,
basically everybody's shit is at +5.
Let's put it this way: if Elenum ever wants to have a holy war, dude, this spell, all his freaking level. Imagine all his level 5, all his level 1 warriors armed with +5 weapons. It's fucking crazy.
Yo, that's really good to actually have to protect Cobra.
This guy could be like a war mage. That's true. Be like the elites. No, so people don't abuse it though. Like the elites.
That one. All right.
Man.
Anything else?
I think that's it. Let me see. All the other buffs, I think they're short range. You'll cast them the same day. Like Eyes of the Avoro, Perception. Yeah, they only last, when extended, 460 minutes.
Yeah, I see it.
That's only a few hours, I think. So.
Right. Not enough to
Right.
Not enough to save a spell slot for the day of. Pretty much is it.
Exactly. Yeah. So spells that he normally has on, like Eyes of the Avoro, Efficicious Perception, Battle Magic Perception, all those, he'll cast on the day. And what about not even Rary's Telepathic Bond lasts that long.
Nah, that's 10 minutes per level.
I have to cast it on the same day also. Yep. Also, so forget about Rary's Telepathic Bond for the people back in the Soul Pillar. I thought it lasted longer for some reason. It's not even worth it. If anything, we should have left them with a scroll of sending so they could contact Cynthia if anything.
No, the Lantern Archons can teleport, bro. At will.
Oh, so if something happens there, they could teleport.
Yeah, they could just simply teleport right to where Cynthia is and be like, yo, this is going on.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
They have so many spell-like abilities. They can actually just walk around the town at will doing aid. Helping people who get hurt and shit. We literally, right now,
the Lantern Archons? Yeah, they got immunity.
Read the shit that they got, guys. Read that shit, yo.
Immune to electricity and petrification, aura of menace.
We got the Watchtower.
Any hostile creature within 20 feet must make a will save or take a -2 AC and attacks and saves until they hit that Archon.
Look at that. So them just being
They have dark
around,
vision, 60 feet. They have low light vision. They have a magic circle.
We don't need a satellite.
They're constantly surrounded by a magic circle against evil.
Oof.
Wow. So that means they could even protect low level commoners and stuff.
They literally could just police the city for us.
Tongues. They can speak with any creature. Any creature that has a language. They have greater teleport at will. They can only transport itself and up to 50 pounds of objects.
Cauldron's gonna become like a magical mecha, man.
They got damage reduction 10, evil, and vivid.
Damn.
So if some bandits try to attack the Lantern Archon and not dealing any damage really. They have 2 light rays as an attack. Range touch attacks for 1d6.
That's crazy. They do make very good police force. And they got damage reduction also.
And
Imagine.
at will, they can do aid, detect evil, and continual flame. They can do continual flame at will.
I will.
They can light the whole fucking place up.
And it's 30 something of them.
I mean, they could just touch things all around the city and light it up.
Yeah.
If you need light in there, damn.
Oh wow.
It's Cauldron, the city of lights. We turned Cauldron into a fucking perfect city. We just gotta protect it.
Yeah, they are protected. Yeah.
They have pain at will. No one will be hurt ever again.
Well,
Like everyone has temporary HP. You go in Cauldron, fall down the steps, no problem. Like you're good.
No,
No, that's
continual flame needs a 50 gold pieces of ruby dust. They don't need. There's a spell like ability. They don't need them.
wow.
Cauldron, the city of lights.
That's a lantern archon. Lantern fits the name. If they could touch so many objects in the area and just fucking. We got 32 of them.
That's prime. That shit could be.
That's true. Like the place came under attack at night. They like so many of them would just be flying around, yelling for help, lighting the whole just touching things, keep lighting the whole place up.
Teleport. Greater teleport.
Teleport. They can teleport to the barracks.
And tongues. They could be anywhere they want. Just flying around, seeing what's happening, reporting shit. To greater teleport at will, you could know anything you need to know that they see.
Yeah, all I know is that's how people are talking about it a lot. It's the holy lights. Got some people who are like, what are those will-o-wisps? Kill it! Like, no, they're not will-o-wisps. Gotta be careful with that shit. Motherfuckers are like, what the fuck is that? Little lights. They're will-o-wisps.
Since they communicate and have tongues,
could spread the lie that they are will-o-wisps and nobody would fuck with this.
And they can detect evil at will. And they got tongues.
You said they are police force.
Yeah, they're the police force.
And they're lawful neutral too, so they'll be good law enforcement.
They're lawful good.
Oh, they're lawful good. Well, still, they're still lawful.
They're archons, so
they'll follow the law.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the only thing you would have to prepare on the day of is the travel mechanism.
The what?
I know we're doing.
And your characters are gonna want to get there fast before the buffs from yesterday will wear off. Because there's some buffs you cast yesterday, but they've only got 7 hours left on them when you leave.
We could teleport.
That's what I'm saying. You'll have to teleport.
We gotta find the path that I can cast.
And find the path. So yeah.
So between that and teleport.
So that's gonna be 2 slots.
I already have find the path.
Well, not from her. Level. He's got the greater teleport. You got
find the path.
Find the path.
So I gotta use a greater teleport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it the cheap way, you would have to cast a spell to reduce all of our weight to 15, and then we could have the.
What if you guys craft a scroll? During the downtime.
I could do that.
Of what? Of greater teleport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got the resources.
Right.
Yeah, sure. How much would that
cost? I might as well do a scroll of find the path too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying you guys just use your
We got a pool of money there that we're not even like buying shit with it.
Right.
So,
that
do it for shit like
you would use. I was saying that's why you would use the scrolls and you'd save your spell slots.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Greater teleport is no range limit, no chance you arrive off target. You do not have to see the destination, but in that case, you must have at least a reliable description of the place to which you would teleport.
So I guess 2 greater teleports then. One to get there, and one when we decide to return back.
Mm-hmm.
A reliable description.
I mean, technically, we don't need that. We can all return back home whenever we feel like it.
Actually, you're right about that. Because I forgot. I could use any of my other open slots, 8 or 7, to mimic a teleport spell if I had to my abilities.
No, I mean you literally have a stick that on you. If you break it, it teleports you back.
Oh yeah.
You have refuge on you.
Mm.
It's a permanent magical item. You have one that you can break to teleport you to me, Cynthia. We have one that'll teleport you home.
How long that last?
It's permanent.
What's the name of that? I don't think I wrote that down.
It's a buff that Cynthia did for everyone. It's called refuge.
Oh, refuge. Hold on. I think I did write it down.
It's a little stick that you break it. It's a one-time use though. I mean,
Right,
you
right,
can
right.
memorize a spell or get back home if you want, just in case, But
Yeah.
everyone has their own get out of jail free card right now.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty good.
He needs a reliable description of the place. There's not really much of a description. No, actually,
We casted that.
no.
Cynthia
You guys
casted
could
that.
do a. I mean, characters have high enough knowledge to like research what Shadowhorn
We could always.
currently looks like. It's the ruins of Shadowhorn. You guys can research on what the place looks like. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says you do not have to have seen the destination, but you need a reliable description of the place.
What spell did we
But
cast to
nobody's been
find out
there.
about Shadowhorn?
None of you have been there, which means your characters do research on those who have been to the ruins of Shadowhorn, at least before the fucking cage rights took it over. So I'd say, yeah, you got a reliable description. You got your characters' knowledge checks are high enough. You've got access to the stuff that you need to research on it. So I think you could probably just teleport there.
Oh, we're not just teleport there. Could do that.
You might not even need finding the path.
We don't need mounts or any of that, right? Yeah, we'll do that then. We're just going in there on the hole.
One teleport. The only thing that would, obviously, the only reason you wouldn't be able to get there is the place blocked from teleportation. At which point, when your characters gather together and Claudius reads the spell off the scroll and you guys disappear, you do find yourselves right, right directly right next to the ruins of Shadowhorn. You're within the ruins. So the ruins itself are not blocked from anybody being able to teleport or whatever, but
Otherwise, the spell wouldn't have worked, right? Or it would have just teleported us
it
nearby.
would I think it wouldn't have just worked, and you would have had to find another way there because you wouldn't have a reliable description of an area near it. So you would have to, there's no people will describe a location, but nobody describes, the forest that's near it or the river that's near it. So like, if for some reason that area was locked from being teleported into,
Right.
that's a cheesy way to get around it. Like to get around a greater teleport if you're trying to protect your place. Like
Dimension
you
lock.
just cover your, like if somebody wanted to be like, all right, I know what the sanctuary looks like. I want to teleport there, but you have the sanctuary unlocked. Nobody can teleport into. Even with a greater teleport, like unless they know the surrounding area really well, like if somebody has a description of like, oh, there's a small pond about 50 feet away from the sanctuary and it's surrounded by mango trees. Like unless they knew that, like they couldn't even teleport near it. Like they'd have to find their own way to the sanctuary.
Well, at least nobody could teleport into my bedroom now with dimensional lock. Okay, that shit.
What they could do is they could get a hold of someone that's already been there and just see from their mind's eye what it looks like for the spell. They could extract the memory.
If they had a spell that could let them see their memory somehow.
There's a vile spell that allows you to extract memories.
Oh well, there you go. Then you have your.
It's evil.
I mean, because greater teleport. I would say greater teleport just needs a reliable description.
I think it's called memory jar.
Yeah, greater to the core.
Memory jar? I think
You
that's what
take
it
the
was.
memory and you
Something
lock
like
it
that.
in.
Yeah.
Lock it in. And there's even one you could modify memory. You can modify someone's memory. It's fucked up.
Greater to the core.
That's good to use on somebody that you don't want.
It's really fucked up,
That
bro.
you don't want to like remember how your place looked.
That's why I like enchantment. It's permanent, bro.
Yeah,
Modify
they got a
them.
lot of permanent
They're
shit.
wrecked. I beat you. No, you didn't. I killed that guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's alive, chilling.
The only
Kill him.
problem, there's only one problem with enchantment though.
What?
But this only happens when you're like a high level. Somebody that has freaking mind blank on the spell. Like
Oh.
like Claudius right now. I got
Mind
mind blank.
blank blocks
Anybody
out the
try to
whole
do
shit.
yeah. Right now, Claudius is immune to the entire enchantment school.
True. But then
Yeah.
again, conjuration has its problems too. Because it is one spell that bars conjuration, period. You can't call shit.
What spell?
What spell? Shit. Let me pull a list out.
Conjuration is very versatile.
There's one that bars summon creatures only, and then there's one that bars conjuration, period, in the area.
What spell is that? One that blocks
What spell is
conjuration?
that?
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
one that blocks
I understand
conjuration.
summoning.
There's one that steals summon creatures. There's mad anti-summoning spells.
Yeah, but no, but
But
summon is
they
a
mostly
sub-school.
came out recently. Hmm?
Summoning is just a sub-school of conjuration. It's just
No,
like
this one that blocks conjuration. You can't call anything from the outside in.
What about when he casts like
what about Wall of Stone?
Fire Orb or something?
Fire Orb or Wall of Stone?
Orb
I
of
don't know
Fire.
about. I mean, I'll look it up. Hold up.
Yeah, if you could block them off from casting Wall of Stone or Fire Orbs or whatever, then I'm like, whoa, that is a very powerful spell. But summoning, right now, you could take away Claudius' ability to summon creatures. He could care less. He rarely uses those spells, even though he could cast them. Heck, he even has a magical item right now, the robe, that lets him convert any spell he has to a summoned monster of whatever spell slot I use. What's it called? Cloak of Conjuration? Or Vest? I think I made it into a vest.
That's one thing I like about Pathfinder. Their spells are like.
If anything,
Their spells are pretty fun.
Oh no, but that's a school of illusion though. If anything, this what makes illusion very cheesy. Because they got like shadow
Yo,
evocation
nothing fucks with illusion though. I
and
noticed that.
shadow conjuration. Like the school of illusion could mimic any conjuration or evocation spell. With the shadow conjuration and shadow evocation.
Right.
And then if you become that freaking prestige class that this guy wanted to do, Matt Samuel's character with his gnome, what's it called? Is that freaking gnome prestige class? You know what I'm talking about, Louis. You know
yeah, Shadow Mind or Shadow something.
Shadow Mage. No, it's something.
Crafter.
It's only a gnome could get into
There's
that
like
class.
a gnome only prestige class.
Because like shadow conjuration only goes up to like 75% real or 50% real. With that prestige class, you can make it like 100%. That means that prestige class, which is only 5 levels long, makes you like mimic any conjuration or evocation spell.
Well, I think if you just did the prestige class alone, it goes up to like
Shadowcraft
90, it goes up to like 90%, I think. But
90%.
then there was like a feat or something that he could take that would bump it all to 100%.
No, Shadowcraft Mage did the prestige class. It was a 5-level prestige class. It bumped it all the way up there. Made it 90% like
make your shadow spells 100% real. That's some scary.
Yeah, and
create your own reality.
Hell yeah, man! Like shadow conjuration. That means that you can mimic any. Imagine limited wish, Louis. You know shadow conjuration, limited wish, but anything conjuration based, level 6 from below, some crap like that. It's fucking crazy. With shadow evocation, shadow conjuration, and then the illusion school.
Oh, there's more than that. The Pathfinder has one for fucking enchantment.
They do shadow enchantment.
It's shadow enchantment, man.
Really?
Wow,
That's dope.
I saw that shit. I was like, what?
Wow, that makes illusion is one of the strongest
OP
classes out
then.
there.
OP.
Shit, I had an illusionist gnome once. He was with Cash Inc. Nimsh.
That's right.
Yeah, there's Shadow Enchantment and Shadow Enchantment Green.
I didn't play him that much though. He only like gained a few levels. Yeah, with what the knowledge I have now, man, I would play Nimsh. That dude, he'll be a threat.
Use material from the Shadow Plane to cast a quasi-real illusory version of an enchantment spell.
Yep. That's crazy. I'm looking into that. But anyways, Matt, like I was saying, mind blank is not even that big of a deal because you only encounter that like at the end of the game almost.
Yeah.
I just got to start now, and this campaign is almost over, so it's not even a big deal.
Right.
Most of the campaign, and not only that, how often you got to be fighting archmages or whatever in every battle? No, that'll be contrived. Oh, every mage has mind blank? No, that's not realistic at low level.
Oh, there's also shadow transmutation.
What? They get that too? Why is there? Yo, that's too much.
That's another Pathfinder spell. It's shadow transmutation and greater shadow transmutation.
Yo, if Samuel saw that shit, he'll be like, "Lou, I want to play Zed. I want to play Zed, man. Let's
Of course
go."
he would. Of course he
We
would.
wanna
I
play
want Zed so bad.
Personally, I already thought.
That's too much
Personally,
stuff.
I already thought
You
like just having
suffuse one
invocation-
subject's body with energy from the shadow plane, altering its form to match a creature from the shadow plane.
That's basically giving.
Oh, that's all it does.
Huh?
It doesn't
What?
mimic transmutation spells. It just uses the plane of shadow's energy to alter your form to match a creature from the shadow plane. Shadow transmutation can mimic any of the following spells. So there's certain spells it can mimic. It can mimic animal growth, enlarged person, fins to feet, long arm, polymorph, reduced person, stone fist.
Yo, because Watson, like.
Okay, so it's
Watson,
not every transmutation spell. It's just certain ones. Okay.
I was about to say
The greater version lets you mimic greater polymorph and polymorph. Those are like two additions.
Watson, think of it this way: like let's say greater shadow conjuration. With that one spell, let's say I prepare it like 4 times. I could mimic wall of stone. I could mimic create pit, greater create pit, whatever. Just one spell. It's almost like a limited wish. But you
could do whatever you want at the time that
you're better than
whatever
the
spell you
conjurer.
need at that time. You got
right,
it.
you're better than the conjurer because one spell you can freaking cast any freaking conjuration spell. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, but clerics got it easy too. They got any spell. They got any spell for 3rd and 5th, where they have access to any fucking spell.
No, but not any cleric can cast that though. Isn't that one of those what they call it?
Spell.
It is a domain spell.
A domain spell, yeah. I know. Clerics of Mistra get it because if I don't make a cleric, obviously.
As long as you're a cleric,
anybody that has access to the spell domain.
Yeah, Mistra. The only reason I know Mistra has it because I looked into
it. It being a domain spell makes it OP because, you could get a feat where you could cast your domain spell spontaneously.
Any spell allows you to read any arcane spell of up to 2nd level.
Right.
You must have an arcane magical writing.
You have a greater version.
If you were to get any spell for level 3 and level 5, and then you get that ability where you could cast your domain spell spontaneously, you could do any spell spontaneously.
I think they have a greater.
What? That's OP.
Let me see. They got a greater any spell.
It's a 3rd level spell that lets you prepare and cast any 2nd or 1st level wizard spell.
Right, and then there's a greater version of it.
The greater version.
Any 4th level.
That's a greater version. I found it.
The greater version is.
It's a level 6.
It's 6, so you use a 6th level slot to up to 5th level spell.
And the problem is you could do that spontaneously.
Let me see.
That's the issue.
You could prepare any arcane spell
there's a feat that you can get. All your domain spells, you can cast them spontaneously.
Wait, you can cast any arcane spell, level 5th or below. Any arcane spell. That's
any arcane spell.
Yeah, you would have because normally you would only be able to cast those spells once because you only have one domain slot.
Right.
But if you have spontaneous domain slot feat, you could do that.
Yeah, that's fucking OP.
You guys are giving me ideas because I was thinking of making
that is OP. Any spell you need, any spell.
Because you know
this situation, you're like, oh, bam, got it. What?
I swear to God, yo, clerics of mystery, yo,
come on,
yo, personally,
well, you still need to. Well, no, there's a caching time. 15 minutes because you need to have the spell book or the scroll on hand.
Oh shit, 15
but
minutes.
It's still the trade-off though. The spontaneous casting spell one.
Oh, that's how they limit that spell. All right, okay.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
It's basically you're a cleric, but there's a wizard spell that you really need. You don't have access to.
Oh, so it's mainly utility. It's still pretty good.
It's utility.
Still pretty good. let's say teleport. Let's say you need a teleport spell. There you go.
Right, because clerics don't get teleport. There you go.
Exactly. Clerics don't get teleport. 15 minutes to cast teleport. Hey, that's pretty sweet deal.
Well, not to cast it; it's to prepare it.
To prepare it.
Oh, to prepare it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you cast the spell and then spend the 15 minutes preparing this, the spell, and then now you have it.
Right. Any 5th level spell you want, or any 2nd level spell that you want below.
Oh, wait. Also, that's actually better then. I thought you had to cast it for 15 minutes. You saying that you could just learn it?
No, you just learn it. Like you prepare it like a normal spell.
You cast the spell and spend the 15 minutes to prepare the spell that you want.
Yeah, you do that the day before or no? And it'll stay in your mind?
You can do it, yeah.
You do it the day before and then memorize the rest of your normal spells.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Because you don't lose your prepared spells when you rest.
Right. You don't use them, you cast them.
That's
fucking dope.
It is dope.
Really fucking dope. As a cleric to have access to that. That's really fucking good.
No, that's a lot of versatility. Yo, man, clerics of Mistras are cheesy. I think they're better than wizards.
I kind of think they're a little better than wizards. I'm not gonna lie.
What the fuck?
No, I think they are, man.
Because I mean, they still have to prepare just like a wizard does. But now they have access to like, divine magic plus arcane magic.
That's why you make him a mystic theurge.
Might as well. Why not?
Well, if there is
clerics of mystery usually do go into mystic theurge.
If there is a faith that I will see having a lot of mystic theurge, it will be Mistra. Magic.
Maybe Mistra.
Clerics, yeah.
That's why Jonah was like, fuck Mistress. I'm going my dude at Zook.
They got him.
Many people want Mistress titties.
He's a too many version. Zook was more fitting for him anyway.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't feel like he has to be responsible for like the weave and all that shit. He just likes magic.
Right.
So Azuf is that kind of guy. Is that guy that just fucking loves wizard spells. He's the god of wizards. So she's just the god of magic in general. Like he's specifically like arcane.
Gemino is more focused in dealing with like wizards who abuse their magic because that's where he becomes a slave. So his master was a wizard from the day who was like abusive. So his whole focus is taking down other spellcasters and making sure other spellcasters aren't abusing magic and using it to enslave people. So his focus, his god clearly would be Azuth. I think Azuth is kind of like the god, like right below Azuth would be like the magisters, pretty much, right? Pretty much like the
I
people who like.
I think
oversee...
technically, they said the magister is technically like a chosen of Azuth, right? Even though they're beholden to both Mystra and Azuth. Azuth and Mystra are pretty much interchangeable, but yeah, the magister would be like the chosen of Azuth.
I wanted to become a
because I think one of his titles is the first magister.
Right.
So. He was the first magister.
I wanted General to become a magister. Yeah. So I'll go body other wizards that are abusing their shit. Show up on your doorstep like.
Yeah. So I heard you took down a whole cabal of wizards and took their shit and trying to court it for yourself. You have to take that back. I mean, confiscate this. Like, what? Who the fuck are you? Gemini would be like, wait. He puts up a finger and fucking the spell that the wizard cast fucking redirects and goes right back at him and hits him 10 times before. So. The guy's body, and then transmute the guy's body into ooze. He's like, what the fuck happened? I can't. He's like, now you can't cast because you're in an ooze form. Now I'm gonna collect you in a jar over here. And I'm gonna hang you on my shelf, and you're gonna sit there on my shelf as a possible material component in the future. That'd be fucked up.
That's really fucked up.
It looks like the magic. It looks like the magic abuser enforcer needs to be, enforce himself. If he's doing shit like that. I mean, just
Gemino. Actually, Gemino is like a Judge Dredd kind of fucking magister. He won't fucking play. Like other magisters are busy fucking teaching children the wonders of magic and dealing with enemies. He's like, I'ma just face enemies up front. I don't got time with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Other magic stuff, they like
Exactly.
magic.
It'd be
Love
like the
Rocky.
only time I'll spend with children is when they watch me bust ass with magic. So then they can see its raw power and they can see how much responsibility it takes to wield something like this, and whether or not they got the ambition to either pursue this or to just live in their little farm villages and not fuck with this.
They become really cheap. They become
Gemini
really
would be
cheesy.
the shock factor for magic. You'd be like, oh, kids, want to see magic?
They become
Okay.
magisters.
Bro,
Magisters
that shit.
You
are
don't
at
think
the
it's all fun and games, huh? Like, it's no fucking
yeah.
game.
Magisters. I think they're like at their strongest. I think like within the first 3 months when they get their power, because they get like a whole bunch of immunity that gradually wears off. I think like 50% magic resistance, a whole bunch of the shit. And they describe it too. The purpose of all those,
Yeah, I
like,
gotta read the book. They had a whole
yeah,
fucking. This is what I
the
miss. I
the
miss
purpose of
second
all those
edition, man. They
second
had a
This is
edition,
the
whole.
shit,
yeah,
bro.
They just had a whole
So
book
much
just to
lore,
one
dude.
fucking guy, a
So much
magister.
lore, yo.
yeah.
Magister. I was like, why is this book so big for one
The
fucking
cover
thing?
was dope. The dude with the red fucking dude with the red robes on the front page on the front of like the book. He's like standing there, like all this fucking
For
mystical
real.
shit around him.
I need to read that.
Yeah, people usually don't last more than 2-3 years in that office.
Yo,
They
how
really
about
don't.
have mage fairs? I read about that in that
There's
book.
mage fairs. Yeah.
About mage fairs and shit. I want to go there and have a magic duel and stuff like that.
We could go to Silvery Moon.
They're like carnivals for mages. The only spellcasters allowed. Like
Yep.
you have to even get in. You have to like show off magical prowess. They have to test you.
No, they
Yeah,
got
just
you still using the rules from 3.5 for magical duels, like the border area
Yeah,
that comes down, all that stuff.
the magic fairy one. I use that one.
Hmm.
That one's dope. I like that one. I don't like the yeah. That one's like I like that one. I like the rules for that one. They're pretty balanced and they sounds godlike too. I
I
didn't
think in
like
that
that.
one you could
The
customize
only
like
other
the level of
the only
spells.
other magic duel thing I've seen was the Pathfinder one. I didn't like that one too much.
There's a Pathfinder one.
The
I didn't
Pathfinder
know.
one, but it's too straightforward. There's no. It's not like it's not as cool as the Magic of Faerun one where you create like an arena and
Mm.
then you put on you set a time of how much buffs you're gonna put on like 1 round, 2 rounds, and then you enter. And the thing is that the field like it stops your magic from like damaging anything that's in it, and then on top of that like your spells deal half damage and it's non-lethal.
and nobody can interfere either.
Yeah, people outside can't they can't interfere.
It's kind of
People say,
like that anime X. Remember how they put
Yeah,
those
it's
shields
like that.
down and like
what
It's
was the
like that.
concept? What is that true that if somebody interferes in the mage duel or foremost mage duel, they don't anger some of the deities in magic or some shit? How does that work? Is Mistra
I think
really gonna
it's
send like
possible to interfere in the main
an
duel.
emissary?
It is possible to interfere in it. I think you can.
What's the
I think you could
consequences
like
when you
teleport.
interfere?
I don't know. That's up to the like. I mean, for a deity to be involved, that's up to the DM. But
Yeah, exactly. Why would they care?
otherwise, the people involved would be pretty pissed.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
forgot. I forgot exactly what. I gotta read it up again. I know it's a Magic Fairy and they have the whole thing detailed in there.
Yeah, I think that a suit or something. It's like the overseers of mage duels or some crap. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It had like specific rules. I think it was. I think you also allowed one free counter spell every turn, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think so.
You allow like one immediate action every turn to like do a counter spell. I remember some of it because
is that unlocking
you guys
already?
would have your wizards out of character. You'd have your Pokemon battles with your spellcasters.
Yeah, I was about to bust fucking Dante's
It was
ass with
Dante
Gemini.
versus Gemini.
He backed the fuck out, Mike, bitch. You were talking about it, but you wouldn't commit. I was like, let's go.
No, there was a fight. Did we finish it? I remember doing it at Schwartz's house a his
I remember
computer.
that's what I was talking about.
On his
But I never
computer.
actually doing it.
And you guys, when you guys created I was like, all right, how are you creating your magic field, your battlefield? And you were like, let's make it into like a fucking star. So I had to draw like a star-shaped fucking battlefield that you guys were fighting in. I'm like, a fucking star. It was like a it was a 5-pointed star.
Dog
So
style.
who won then?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't even remember if we finished it. I think Mike gave up. I think like the fight was going and going. It got to the point where Schwartz was like, "Oh, you got this. You're gonna win." I think Gemini won there.
That's if you remember.
I remember it happened in this house because you were there. I was there.
I was not there.
His brother, yeah, Charlie wasn't there. His brother was there. Darren was there. Darren was there, and I think Chris.
How does that work,
Chris
though?
or Ricky. One of them was there.
How does that work when you get a free counter, immediate action? That means you cannot take your normal immediate action?
It was like
It sounds too complex. I prefer just regular battle.
no, you got it's in
And
magic.
make the
It's
close
it's in Magic Faerun. It wasn't that complicated. It was like you would go and you would
I like
cast
the
you
close.
it
I
would
like the
you
close.
you would take your turn, which is you cast your spell, and when the enemy's turn goes,
I think I did it before. We did it with
when the enemy's turn goes, he casts a spell, but as he's casting a spell, you
we did it with Kuru.
get a free counter spell. Like you would spellcraft and see if you would be able to counter the spell. If not, the enemy's just gonna go through with his spell, and then it goes back to you. It just goes back and forth, really. The only extra rules is like,
What about if you're gonna use
if the spell deals damage, it only deals half damage. That way, you don't get fucking killed in one shot.
right?
And it's only non-lethal damage, unless the two choose otherwise. Like I think you can choose for it to deal lethal damage if you wanted to, but they say most mages don't really do that. But if they wanted to, they could change
Yeah.
it.
Most mages are supposed to be scholarly types, not vicious, brutes. Unless you have a qualm and you really want to kill somebody. Revenge or
Speaking of
whatever.
a suit, I like a spell sitting right here. A suit spell shield. 7th level. I have a card spell.
The mage duel, yeah.
Yeah,
And they normally have 2 participants, but there have been times where
like
it
a
says there have been times
duel.
where 3 spellcasters or more, or pairs of opponents can engage each other in a battle.
That'd be fun.
Ooh, 2-on-2 mage
You have like
duels?
2
Let's
on 2
go,
mage
son.
duels.
That'd be fun.
Qualifications is you have to be able to cast arcane spells in the manner of sorcerer or wizard. Spell-like or supernatural abilities do not involve the proper knowledge to initiate a mage duel, nor do magic items. Obviously. Declaring the mage duel, preparing the mage duel. Attunement. The participants must stand adjacent to each other and concentrate for one full round, attuning themselves to each other and the localities of the weave. A person can only attune themselves if doing so of their own free will. So you can't like charm person somebody and force them to a mage duel. Then the duelists determine the size and the shape of the arena. They can't agree on a size. They make an opposed ability checks, with the winner's choice being the one that's used. The minimum size is a cube with sides equal to twice the sum of the arcane castle levels of all the participants in feet, rounded down to the nearest 5 feet. Maximum size is equal to 5 times the product of the arcane castle levels of all participants. Most mages prefer larger arenas so as to allow them greater maneuverability. It does not need to be cube-shaped, although the dimensions given above indicate the maximum volume of the area. The mage duel arena is often shaped to allow for odd terrain or to avoid or include certain obstacles. Once the size and shape is determined, the arena forms, requiring 1 round per participant. An obvious visible shimmer in the air defines the edge of the arena. Animals and vermin shy away from the area. Such creatures must make a will save, DC 15 plus 1 per participant. Each round will be frightened. So, some fucking wandering, like fucking, like a fucking pack of wolves comes by towards the arena. They're like, oh, no, fuck that. I'm turning. They passed the will save if they want to get in there. Then you define the preparation, which is 1 to 3 rounds of preparation. Longer preparation usually results in a stalemate because the participants are too well protected to harm each other. So people like Claudius, who has like 20 fucking like that wouldn't fly in a mage duel. You would have to agree just 1 to 3 rounds where you buff yourselves. Quicken spells and extra spells from my haste. Oh, that was back in 3.0. Quicken spells and extra spells from are allowed during this time, although it's considered rude to use them. If the combatants cannot agree, they make opposability checks to determine the amount of preparation time.
Actually, Claudius' buff doesn't compare to my other character, Johan. He has way more buffs on.
Alright. Prepare. The participants space themselves equally around the perimeter and use this preparation time to cast spells. The only spells that can enter the arena from the outside in this manner are touch spells and spells that affect the caster. All others are suppressed as if within an anti-magic field. And then they enter the arena. Once they step in, the mage duel begins. Everybody rolls initiative. There's no surprise round. Although no combatant is considered flat-footed. Now, the effects of the mage duel is that spells cast do not leave the confines of the area. Fireball cast at a wizard standing near the border does not extend outside the arena. Monsters summoned within cannot pass through its edge, and they just bounce off as if it was a magic circle. This allows observers of the mage duel to watch in safety. Here's the counterspell thing. In addition to normal actions during their turns, each participant gets 1 counterspell action every round. This counterspell may be used at any point in the round and works as if the mage had readied a counterspell action against another caster.
So that's like that's in addition to the immediate action that we get.
Yeah. For example, Goris Toth is a red wizard involved in a mage duel with Henyek, a necromancer from Harua. Henyek has a higher initiative and goes first. He casts Fireball at his Thayan foe. Goris Thoth makes his spellcraft check and uses his counterspell action to counterspell his Fireball with a Fireball of his own. On Goris Thoth's turn, he casts Lightning Bolt. The necromancer still has his free counterspell action. He hasn't used it this round. But he doesn't have Lightning Bolt or Dispel Magic prepared, so he cannot counterspell the attack and is hit by the Lightning Bolt. The mage can also use his normal standard action to ready another counterspell, possibly counterspelling 2 spells per round.
We would allow an immediate or swift action as well.
So it's like a free counterspell. It doesn't even doesn't even count towards anything. Yeah.
Okay, so this is like 2.0 rule. All right.
Limited items. Because a mage duel is supposed to be a contest of spells, using magic items to directly attack an opponent violates the intent of the mage duel. Using an item in such a fashion disqualifies the mage from the mage duel. Using an item to summon a monster, create a wall of force, or other magic that does not directly attack an opponent will not disqualify a participant.
Wait, hold on. Magic items are not allowed?
They're allowed, but only certain items. Like if you have an item that directly attacks the opponent, you're disqualified.
Oh, like a magic missile one?
Yeah. So like if you use a wild magic missile, you fucking lost.
Okay. Oh, you have to cast the spell itself. Magic missile.
Yeah. Only items that summon a monster, create a wall of force. And basically it says any item, anything that wouldn't end an invisibility spell.
Okay.
Does not disqualify.
I guess this is mostly like, a battle between gentlemen. But like in actual combat, people will not even agree to this duel.
A mage duel is entirely non-lethal. It's impossible to die in a mage duel. Anything that causes damage does non-lethal damage. Creatures that become unconscious are considered Yeah, creatures, you just go unconscious.
Okay.
Ability damage can still occur in a mage duel, although a creature that is reduced to 0 constitution does not die. Instead, they remain at the minimum constitution to keep them alive. It's considered unconscious. Attacks in a mage duel that would cause ability drain instead cause ability damage. Half damage. All attacks that cause hit point damage, ability damage, or ability drain does half the normal damage. And the damage is non-lethal, just as described above. This applies to everything within the mage duel, even attacks made by summoned creatures. This makes the mage duel less of a contest of who can activate the most powerful spell first.
Okay, everything is reduced by 50%.
Yeah.
Ability, stats, or damage.
Right. So if you did Rave Enfeeblement and you did 1d6 plus 3 damage, and you did like 8 strength damage, it would only do 4.
Yeah. Or extendable. So
Right. Lethal attacks that result in the defender being killed outright, such as Disintegrate, Power Kill, Finger of Death, they deal non-lethal damage equal to half of the defender's maximum normal hit points. And Mage Duel Arena Invulnerability. No known magic can affect the existence of the Mage Duel Arena. It cannot be dispelled or otherwise affected by the participants or observers. As for outside interference, if a creature that isn't one of the duelists enters the arena from the outside, whether by conventional movement, oh, you can just walk in? Oh, damn. Or through extraplanar means, the mage duel immediately ends as if all participants had declared it a draw. Likewise, if a weapon or an attack effect enters the arena, the attack fails and the mage duel immediately ends as if all participants had declared it a draw.
the duel just immediately ends. I think it's a consequence of somebody interfered between a lethal duel or something.
So yeah, basically, somebody could interfere it. And so you want to make sure, if you can have your mage duel, you have to make sure nobody fucking interferes that shit.
Okay. I thought it was a consequence for somebody interfere, but I guess not. Alright. Sounds cool.
Although, they're fucking spellcast. If interference was if people were worried about an interference, all somebody would have to do is fucking cast a wall of force around the perimeter of the fucking.
Yeah.
There's a way to
But now you do some stuff like.
Well, I mean, you can use a scroll or a referee could deal with it.
Okay, a referee could do it though.
If you had
a third party bench.
All right.
All right, guys.
Alrighty, man. Good night.
You too, guys. Have a good night.